Hi, everyone. Welcome to another game of Dice and Dynamics. I'm your DM, host, friend, and the operator and director of your local pet store that's a front for a drug operation. Joining here me, joining here with me today are my employees, Jason, Mark, my assistant manager, Muty, and Sam, who is going to be joining with us later. Where we last left off, the group had touched down in Kirsabal and had spent a day just relaxing. They had briefly touched up on some of the things that they were going through in regards to the Terrafolk and the state of Chult as a whole. Shog had been laid out in bed all day, and as the morning comes in, the three of you had been allowed to sleep in, or well, the two of you. And what wakes you up is the music coming in through your door, through your window, reverberating up from the floor, and the tiling kind of echoing around and not letting you catch any longer wink of sleep. Jet, you wake up alone, Tyrion having slipped away in the wee morning light to go handle some things around Kirsabal.
Why is he a morning person now? Yeah, we'll get ready for the day.
As you guys filter out into the main living room of Kirsabal, you see the familiar sights of Artis, Tyrion, Dragonbait, Yoka, Eku, all gathered about. The front windows of the Kirsabal house have been open, and you can hear the multiple layers of Aarakocra in full conversation. Some of them are singing, and it's extremely bright. There's hot wind blowing through, but buckets of ice have been placed throughout the house to sort of disperse and cool it down. The table is heavy with several ceramic bowls that none of you have seen before, a chipped ceramic plate that has 3 loaves of bread hidden under it, and a heavy metal pot that is sagging the table with dings and burns, and steam is rising from it, and you can smell spices, something very hot. The gramophone is on full blast, playing a. Give me 1 second.
Oh, I suppose I would need to be in Foundry to hear that.
Playing a jazzy tune that all of you guys had heard while in Port Nyanzaru. Artists Yoka, Eku, Tyrion, and Dragonbait appear to be in more ceremonial clothes, are nicer clothes. Artis in particular is wearing a white tunic that's cut low, showing off his myriad of upper body strength and just a little peak of chest hair, and a purple heavy sash thrown around his shoulder and sort of tied off at his waist. And his hair is pulled back with a yellow ribbon. Eku likewise has replaced her green headband with a bright red one and is wearing a yellow column dress that's sort of tied around her, tied at the waist with a belt. Yoka is cleanly dressed, his clothes having been fixed and pressed, and he's holding a glass jar of beads, stones, coins, and a bunch of other things he seemed to have collected. Dragonbait looks fine. He's in his regular clothes that the three of you have grown accustomed to seeing him in, but he does have Queen Napaka's veil sort of tucked into his belt like a handkerchief. You're greeted with highs and hellos.
Duvatif will step out, sort of scratching at her now extremely short haircut, and will look over the group and sort of like half waking up. What? Why are you all dressed up? What's the occasion? It's so early.
Artis looks over at Eku. Eku looks back. They have a brief, terse exchange of, I thought you told them about today. I did. It's not their fault they forgot. And then you wish Artis will take a second and collect himself. And as he does this, Tyrion will sort of step out of a side room, his body dwarfed with a full of blankets, pillows, and rugs that he walks 10 feet forward and unceremoniously dumps onto the floor. Artis continues. Summer solstice. I'm sure Majanari would be able to tell you more, but this is the most important day of the year for them, and for her especially.
Duvatif will nod in her eyes.
She had to step away and take care of some business, but she told me to tell you that she'll be by with your coffee briefly.
Okay. She'll retreat back into her room for a minute.
So were we supposed to go get clothes? Because we were kind of busy.
No, you didn't have to change into anything special. This is just because we had the time and...
Awesome. Great. Jed does sound a little annoyed, but he just goes and sits down.
As you sit down,
Go ahead.
Eku will take a step forward and pour you some of the clear soup from the pot. The smell is making your eyes water.
Oh god.
It's very hot.
So it's not like a spicy hot, it's just like... It's just very...
No, it's a spicy hot. It's acid at this point.
Oh god, what is that? That's a lot of onion or whatever it is. Oh my god.
Onion.
Jet thinks onions are spicy.
No, the only thing he resonates it is with burning. Like, cutting an onion is eye burning, so that's what he resonates with. Fuck you, Jason.
It's chili peppers.
Sorry.
Onions aren't grown anywhere here.
Why is there so much of it to the point where I don't even want to open my eyes right now?
Artis will give you a little bit of a confused, worried expression, then sort of half shrug and say it's a mooin.
Great explanation. Awesome. Okay.
Koshak handled it fine earlier, but he's also drinking Everclear now, I think.
Jet's like just looking at Artis and like the are you fucking kidding me kind of look when he goes, Cole's okay. That's what you're comparing it to. Someone who lives here compared to someone who's not used to any of this at all.
How long have you been living in Chult?
0, because I don't live here.
Artis will take Jet's bowl and sit down.
Duvatif will reappear now wearing sort of a short coat that sort of falls just at her belt line, made out of the fabric that Mojunare left. It is, however, unfinished, and you can see like chalk marks where like things still need to be sewed and hemmed on like the sleeves and sort of the doublet portion. And she'll sort of just sit down at the table quiet.
Koshak, where are you?
Koshak rolls up to the table with like a glass in hand, and he just takes he takes a seat right next to Artis.
Ooh. Ooh.
He's very relaxed.
He lives.
Oh man. I just had a really bad comment. Never mind, just keep going.
God. Okay.
I love you. I'm just saying I love you, but
Type it out, you heathen. Cole looks at the party.
Deal.
He's like, good morning. I hope you all have had a good night. I heard you had a lot of discussions. I'm sorry I couldn't be there.
Mostly.
Turn that down.
Yes. Mostly with. Yeah, mostly with regards to handle the Terrafolk situation and all of its facets. She'll explain, looking at the glass in his hand.
Oh, you're not in Foundry. Hold on. I'll put it in group chat. Thought you were in Foundry. My bad. There you go.
You're muted, Muty.
Jack, go to church.
Bonk, go to horny jail.
Well, sorry I missed out on it, but I must say I'm very well set up personally. I would not recommend drinking what I'm drinking, though.
Wasn't planning on it. Smell it from here, I think.
100 proof.
Duvoneth.
100 P. Yes, Jet.
Sorry to be rude with the way I say this. What did you do to your hair?
This shorter. It's a lot shorter.
Yes, and I've never seen it this short before.
Yes, you have, Jet. It's been this short in the past. You saw it in the jug.
A memory. I've seen it in a memory, not in person.
It was
It's different seeing it in person.
Thank you.
Just too fire damaged and all burnt and charred at the ends.
That makes a lot of sense.
Had to come off, and it already feels much cooler.
Oh, I would think so.
I'd imagine so.
Also, not like I have a appendage hanging off the top of my head. So, it's a win. It's a win.
Is hair that heavy? Does it feel that heavy to you? Or is your hair just thick?
I have really thick hair.
Understandable, yeah.
Understandable.
So, what are the traditional solstice festivities?
For me or for the Omuans?
Apparently dressing up, but it's
Yes.
not super important.
Dressing up, well, you guys are foreigners, so it's not super necessary. But in general, for Omuans, they like to clean and, you know, the reason why you guys have not had anything to eat is because the first part of the morning is fasting, and then later on is going to be dueling, lunch break, war games from around. Wasn't that was Alita? Alita came out.
Alita!
Oh no.
From a little noon, they start doing like war games. It's a whole bunch of debates. Strategy is a mess. It's so loud. But then afterwards, party time.
Did you say dueling? Like swords
Yes.
and swinging and trying to kill each other?
Yes, precisely.
Okay, I'm not doing that.
You could always join me. During that time, I will be setting up a spot to sleep in the sun.
Okay. Probably gonna be a lot better than pretending I'm good at something I'm not.
Oh, Jet, you sell yourself short. You're very good at the battle, whether you realize it or not.
Did you not see how small my arms are? I can't hold a sword.
You may not have to hold a sword, you know. Well, actually, you're right. Spellcasting in Crucible, not the best.
No, because I have a feeling if I do anything too much, I'll probably throw them off the cliff.
I mean, Jet
Most of them are birds. It'll be fine.
brings up a good point though. Spellcasting is allowed in duels in places.
Yes.
Why?
Well, sometimes when it comes to spellcasting duels, you're usually doing it spellcaster to spellcaster to make sure it's an even fight. Unless you're dealing with someone who is trained in the ways of taking spellcasters down, in which case, everybody's game.
I suppose that's fair.
Will my computer stop being slow as dicks?
Oh no.
That accent changed, though. Night, Dad.
My dad.
Good night, Dad.
I love that's just our ritual now. It's just saying goodnight to him.
We don't even know him. We don't even know him.
You gotta have
We don't
gags.
know
You
him.
gotta have gags.
You gotta.
Good night, Dad is one of our gags.
Yeah. That's gonna be our first emote. Good night, Dad. We still have an emote
He
slot, by
heard-
the way.
I
He
know.
said good night.
Aw.
Wait, an emote slot? And you mean we're not gonna use Hornman Sock as our fucking?
We could.
Okay,
We
keep going.
could.
Sorry. Well, that seems fair. Artists and Dragonbait, you all weren't back yesterday, were you?
No. Artists will kind of glance over at Dragon Bait and will look back to the group. I dropped off Shago and Na, and I had to handle some fallout that had happened in Port Nyanzaru.
What happened?
Fallout?
A lot of rotation among the merchant princes. Jessamines' daughter was kicked out, and Azon died.
Wow. Jessamines' daughter was kicked out? How does that work?
They just bought her out. The Assassin's Guild, without their lead assassin, doesn't make much money. Same thing happened with Nitty. I guess his fathers didn't tell him that they were not doing so well.
So Azon died?
So who's running assassin contracts and who's running the guides? both of those things kind of seem like they might be dangerous if unregulated.
Artist will give a gesture at Duvaneth and nod. That's it. Nobody's managing the guides. I think Zendar is trying to take over the assassins' contracts, or at least stop them until
Divanus just
this is all taken
sort of
care of.
laughs at the notion of Zendar taking up assassination contracts.
While I have the table, I'm overstepping my boundaries a little bit in saying this. Majanari will be here soon. Today is her favorite day of the year. It's very important to her. Be extra nice to her today if you can, or we'll kind of look at Jet more forgiving.
Jet will instantly roll his eyes before even being looked at. Just putting that out there.
It's the first day she spent without someone else who can speak Omuan, and father being alive has... It's just a very rough day for her. Don't let her know that I told you guys this. It would make things very uncomfortable. But just so we're all in the same sheet.
Divanus mumbles to herself under her breath.
Fine.
I only make mild promises, but I'm never that mean to her anyway.
I mean, she's a pretty easy person to be nice to. She's fairly accommodating.
Is she?
Yeah.
You say so.
Divanus will just shrug.
Will anybody want the soup? Besides Jet?
No, I already had some.
Divanus will look at Jet, look at the soup. Sure.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll lean over, grab a bowl, and ladle about this much of the soup, and pass it over with a big hunk of bread.
She'll sort of tilt the bowl and
There's bread? Jet is 100% just eating the bread right now.
dab the bread in it and then sort of take a bite.
Shit.
Make a con save.
Right.
Do you like it? It's spicy, but the bread sort of offsets it.
It's okay. I think the bread is required.
The breakfast will sort of settle. None of the NPCs will make any overt remarks. Echo and Yoka just seem sort of happy to be there. Dragonbait will sort of flitter about, making himself useful by tidying up small things here and there, but for a little bit you guys have some peace and quiet.
Does Tyrion sit with Jet, by the way?
Tyrion is sort of also making himself useful, but he will at some point wander over to the table and settle into a chair next to Jet.
Alright. Here we'll probably just lean on him.
Divanith will sort of convene a meeting between Koashak, Jet, and herself. Say, Soul's had a lot on his mind late. I don't know if he's doing maybe a big think or something like that, but Cole, we wanted to talk about the nature of the terror folk problem, and she'll like look at um uh we'll look at Jet and Tyrion and like stop on Tyrion, and then we'll just look back at Cole and say all that we know about it.
Okay, where do you want to begin?
How do you think we should approach the situation? We're kind of thinking the best method is to just meet at Firefinger and let the situation sort of dictate how things go.
I'll be honest with you. I think I am going to follow your diplomatic lead on this at the moment, but that's mostly because I am not entirely in my proper faculties to be able to come to a decent conclusion as to what we should do further. The only thing I can think of doing right now is setting their nest ablaze, because that usually solves the problem for about 6 months at a time, and it feels like we're trying to go for a more permanent solution for our problem.
Duvada just sort of makes like a tiny little mouth noise, like, and then says, "Well, I think we're about on the same page. I'm. You said my diplomatic lead, but I think that will just about stop with convening the meeting, getting king and prince into the same place."
Are we going to dispatch them, so to speak?
Yes, and there's also a group of Terrafolk elders who will likely stand by the king or the power structure as it sits right now. And essentially, not to sound rash, but effectively just making our way through the king and prince and just going down the line until somebody sees things our way.
That sounds oddly delightful. Are we going to see if we can find Razan, or if she's even still alive?
Devon will smack her head. Well, as it pertains to that situation, we don't know. We had talked about potentially utilizing a sending.
At this, Tyrion will raise his hands and go, "I'm going to go to the other room and pretend that
You're going to stay right here.
Okay. Tyrion sits down.
Just forget
I
everything
really
you're
don't feel
hearing.
comfortable. I really don't feel comfortable being here.
You promise not
Yeah.
to tell anyone.
I can't promise that. I
Then
live
I
here.
know
Then
that's
you're-
why you're staying right
Then
here.
you're not leaving, hun.
Artist, and you see artists go,
Nothing.
What?
Is that what is that, a fucking Bluetooth speaker? It's a sending stone headset.
Anyways, we were going to try sending to either confirm. Jet, you did say yesterday that you would pair that spell that allows you to see distant places or something.
Yes, scrying. I've prepared it today.
Do we think we should just do that now so we can get that question resolved? So we decide how we're going to go about this, because and Duvanev will look at Tyrion and make a very concerted effort to emphasize on this, because she is at the top of the tower. And then we'll look back at Jet.
As Duvanith says that, Tyrion makes a undignified noise like a rat being held tightly. And Tool, I don't think this is right. I'm really uncomfortable.
Well, we need to see what the situation is before we can do anything.
Imagine how much more uncomfortable it would be if you know what.
Can you speak a little louder, Jason? You
Sorry. Let me move my
peed it out
mic.
at the end.
Well, imagine how much more uncomfortable you're going. If you know what.
No, what? What were you going to say?
she'll just exhale, and we'll say, "We have already saved one princess. We can do it again, but we don't need to put another one in danger to solve this problem."
We all know if she hears this, she's going to go in recklessly.
Well, Tyrion will, tapping his fingers on the table, whatever. You guys are stupid. He'll stand up and just pinch the like bridge of his nose after having said that, and just kind of wave with his hands. It's
Javon's going
your
to
guys'
say,
choice, not mine.
"Well, if somebody's going to lose two monarchs in this, let it be the Terrifier."
I just think she's more level-headed than you guys think. Whatever.
It doesn't matter. There's multiple reasons why we don't want to tell her. The first being she's already grieved, and if we tell her that she might be alive and then she ends up dead, she's going to have to grieve again. And then on top of that, even just the idea or the concept that she would be interested or want to come with us also poses a risk because it will distract her from her duties here.
What are you going to do if she's alive and then dies? I mean, when you go to Firefinger, she's going to want to see her body when it's, fresh.
Javana's going to shrug and like very matter of factly say, if we're not able to save her, nothing has changed.
But we'll be able to bring her home. Which is something that wasn't able to be said before.
I've got a preservation spell. We can keep the body fresh for a little bit if we need to transport it.
Yeah, but that's my point. It's fresh, and you bring it home fresh. There's going to be questions, aren't there?
And
Devon's just going to very grimly say, Tyrion, the Terrafolk are cannibals. There is going to be no body if she's dead.
Tyrion looks very much like he wants to give some sort of dramatic ultimatum or give some sort of speech that will win the crowd, but Tyrion is not that kind of man, so he'll just kind of exhale all at once and settle down into the chair next to Jet and keep eating.
All right. With that being said, I was able to garner some information from Azek yesterday.
And what was that?
The reason why Razan might still be alive is that the prince has grown a infatuation with her. It's it's likely that the king, who has already dubbed his son Queen Slayer, is is egging the son on to finish the deed, and he's sort of resistant to it because he's grown attached to her. There's a few other things. That was kind of the main one, which I think lends credence to the fact that she's still with us. There's 3 to 5 of those elders that I was speaking of, but the Firefinger itself shouldn't, theoretically, unless they have recalled one of their small 10 Terrafolk groups for this meeting, which is another reason why I'm wondering if we want to tell them that we're coming at all. 10 Terrafolk, usually at Firefinger. And also, Azek was able to confirm that a lot of what the king says or may say are lies or mistruths. He's a secret keeper. He keeps his secrets in between his groups and cells. His little groups and cells of Terrafolk. Let me just BBQ Quarterbot here for.
What did I miss?
I am. Oh, go ahead.
So the doggo, as you step into the house from having spent a few hours in solitude with Alba, Tyrion will sort of jump up from his seat next to Jet, give you an appreciative nod, and head out as you walk in, opening a spot for you to sit at.
Thank you.
I
Tyrion?
hope
Devon
that doesn't
glares
go
at Tyrion.
Soul looks very confused. What did I miss?
Cole has been celebrating the solstice a little too early this morning and mentioned the Razan situation in front of Tyrion.
Oh.
We stated our case and gave him a stern talking to, or I did. Jet
Did not tell Cusco yet?
pressure. Yeah.
I'll talk to him after this.
What was his reaction?
That we should tell her now.
Ah.
He
I
seemed
mean,
pretty impassioned about it.
I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I mean, it would, if it turns out to be bad, it would be getting her hopes up. But I mean, there is kind of a point to telling her and not keeping that from her because it is important information.
But the problem
Might change things.
Yes, but the problem is I haven't scryed yet. We don't know if she's still alive, and what happens if we get there and they've killed her by the time we get there? We're essentially giving her hope
Then,
that she doesn't have.
then we're telling her the truth that, hey, your mother was alive for a little bit longer than you thought.
And then we also have to be the ones to say, but she's still dead.
Yeah, we didn't make it, sorry. She's dead.
Then, if I can tell her,
That's
I can be the one to break the news if you guys don't want to.
We're also worried that she'd be interested in coming with us, or at least I am.
And just because you're the one that's willing to tell her doesn't mean we won't be the ones also bearing the burden of the fact that we didn't save her. It's not the telling her we don't want to do, it's the fact that we don't want to give her hope for something that isn't there. See her cry again and grief again because we couldn't save her mother this time.
And if we had gone to Firefinger earlier, we could have potentially saved her then.
So it's not that I don't want to tell her, it's I don't want to tell her and make things worse for us.
Mm-hmm.
If we're successful, great, we have something to tell her. If we're not, we're the ones to blame, and that'll be the last thing she says to us. Just how it's going to
I
be.
don't think so. I mean, she'll be mad. I mean,
You don't think she would blame us for not saving her mother when we find that she's alive? Because we didn't go
she
sooner?
might at the beginning, but I don't know. Maybe I'm obviously this is a group decision,
Well,
but
we're talking in circles now. We should just get the scry or the sending over with and get new information to talk about. Because all
yes,
of this discussion could absolutely be, but also
yes.
with the fact that the Terrafa Prince is supposedly, according to Azek, you missed that, Soul.
Hmm.
The Terrafa Prince is enamored with Razan.
Oh,
So
ah,
that lends credence to the idea that she's alive, and it lends credence to the idea that she might survive our trek to Firefinger and hopefully whatever it is that
mhm,
whatever goes down there.
mhm. Yes. Waiting for a scry would probably be a best idea. Um,
Jet has prepared it today. We just got to decide how early in the day we want to do it.
well, I mean, why not do it right now? Get the information, let that help us decide what to do.
Dwadath will nod. How much time do you need, Jet?
10 minutes? Or, wait, no. I think it's instant and it lasts for 10 minutes. That's how it is.
You are muted, Fish.
Can you pull up the scrying spell?
Yep. I am
I will be right back as you guys rules lawyer.
casting it meow. Right meow.
Also, can you guys hear
And
my
we'll be
cat?
taking a no. We'll
Good.
be taking a 5-ish minute break at 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, time to pick the spell apart.
Omega, if you actually don't use your 9k points, at some point there's an option where you can actually hype us up and like possibly get us on the front page of Twitch. It's actually becoming a thing now.
In the bathroom.
So
Oh, did I miss? Me, quick. Excuse me.
miss what?
Close the door behind me. Pardon me. I was in a weird spot. Did I miss the reveal of everyone reacting to Devon's hair?
Yes.
Damn it. I'll have to go back and watch that because I was looking forward to that.
Okay, yeah, that looks good. The only thing you need is that focus. Which Soul would know from having had Eku use scrying before. There's one of those focuses around Kirsabal, but you'll have to ask Majanari for it.
Fuck. That's right, because we don't have anything worth 1,000 gold.
Hmm.
What's going on?
We need a focus worth 1,000 gold, and
There's a scrying pool up on the top of Kirsabal, but I think Majanari has control over it. So if we want to scry, we'll have to tell her.
so we could do sending. We could do sending first.
I mean, we should just
Does
try it.
Do you know her well enough to?
We've seen plenty of memories. That's the closest thing I have.
Well, we could, and we can also ask her if she wants us to tell her.
That's
If
true.
she's awake enough to say anything.
True. So I guess depending, we would wait a little bit longer, just to make sure she is awake to receive the message.
I mean,
Is it early morning or
doesn't
is
wake
it
you
like
up?
midday? I don't know.
It's a little bit hard for you guys to tell. This is the latest that you guys have ever woken up. So taking your best bets, 9-ish, maybe 10 a.m. now.
Does
She's
Does anybody
probably awake.
does anybody know if solstice is important to the Terra folk as well?
I don't know.
I didn't think to ask. I
She
totally
is an
forgot that
adult.
was today.
I missed that. What was that?
Um, I totally forgot that the solstice was today, which honestly may be another reason not to tell Coach Call, at least today.
Since it is our favorite
Well-
holiday.
I mean, if you get bad news on your birthday, you still kind of want to know it. I can't think of any other holidays at the moment.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, there's also something to be said for letting someone enjoy
Just have their day.
have their day.
No,
before
she's an
you-
adult. We're treating her like a child.
That's fair.
Well,
But
yes, but we're treating her like a person that is being told, by the way, your mother might be alive, but she might be dying soon. We have to treat it like it's a person who's going to grieve, and we don't know how she's going to react. We can't just assume she's going to be adult, put on a big girl panties, and just go, okay, let's move on. We can't expect her to do that.
I wouldn't expect an adult to do that anyways. Adults are adults, but they have emotions.
So
She's
we
going
don't-
to
That's
be
what we're
upset
trying to
because we held
account
it on.
for.
that's
happiness is an emotion too.
Mm-hmm.
the problem is we don't know how she's going to react, and honestly, she could just be rash and go to Firefinger alone.
Just
I don't-
send her. Just send her.
I don't think she'd do that, but I do think we should wait until
should
it's
ask if
not
we-
her favorite date.
Yeah, we can ask Razan if we should tell her,
Okay.
and if she
Mhm.
responds, all the better.
All right, let me.
And this is where we are going to take a 5-minute break as Mark/Jet writes up his message to Razan,
Yep.
and
We'll figure it out. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Dyson Dynamics Pet Store that is obviously a front for a drug trafficking operation.
There's one of those in my
Everyone
town.
here is gathered back.
Those were words that you said.
True, though. Yes.
The group is getting settled in and having their discussion. They can hear Majanari's voice through the open windows. She seems to be humming a song to herself in primordial. Jet, you recognize it as it's a song about nothing. It seems to be complete gibberish and improv. No, she does, but it's like just her singing
Yeah.
to herself.
This
Yeah.
this
It's that
MFR
Murphy Oates song. That'd be funny.
Be like, stop
Uh,
talking about my mom.
That's my mom.
So I think I have possibly the best message I could send. I just don't know if she'll believe it.
Why wouldn't
Well,
she believe it?
what's your
Well, it
message,
depends on how long
Jet?
she's been there. It says, "Hello, miss. I'm close friends with Shago. We wanted to see if you're still alive. We may be able to rescue you." Sorry, this bread is really good. I just can't stop eating it.
What about we're friends of Shago? Well, because if she's able to answer the call, we'll know whether or not she's alive, right? That's how that spell works. It can't go to dead people.
Yes, but I would assume saying we wanted to see if you're still alive is like, please reply. That'd be great. Kind of thing.
Well, what about asking her if she wants Coach Call to know?
I have a lot of spell slots. I think that I can reply
Well,
back. I just don't want to be like. There's only so much I can say in 25 words.
how about we're friends of Shago and Coach Call, Majunari probably instead.
Why wouldn't we not tell
We're
her the name she gave her?
Coach calls a title, not a name.
Oh,
yeah.
my bad.
We're coming to hopefully rescue you. Do you want us to tell your daughter?
Well, like I said, I have multiple spells.
Please reply. That's 22.
Yes, I know. Oh, okay. Well, I'm saying I could still use another spell to reply back and ask her, like, without having to put so much information in one sentence. I think we at
Well,
least want to know
if
she's
she's
alive.
if she's actively dying, you probably want to preserve your spell slot so we can get there as fast as possible.
Well, if we're possibly taking artists, won't we get a full rest anyways?
Not
No.
necessarily.
But we'll get there probably in about, and Duboneth will think it would be like a day or two, right, Fish? Based on how fast Artis travels.
What's the airspeed velocity of a
With the full adventuring party, it's a little hard to say. It depends on your weight.
Okay.
So
Well,
we should.
We're not carrying those breastplates anymore, thank God.
Yes, I'm leaving my shield behind. It's too bulky. But
it's only
we should.
But it's only 2 spell slots, so it's worth trying to at least make sure she's alive. Worst case, we
Yes,
gotta use one spell slot no matter what. The second one is we could possibly give her a little bit more information and ask her at the same time. If we put everything into one, she's not gonna get a reply.
Well, the more information that we're able to pack in, like, the faster we'll be able to move, too. We won't have to wait for you to come up with another message.
Yes, but we still have to wait to see if she replies anyways. We could be like...
Missionary's voice becomes louder, and this time she's singing in Chulten. She has a soft, sort of low voice as she sings, and you can hear her prattling about in front of the windows, messing with things on the windowsill, or just kind of fidgeting with things to fidget with things.
Well, I would say you have to make the decision as to what you're going to do in very shortly.
Just do what you want to do.
Just send it.
All right. Jet's going to cast Sending and whisper as low as he can.
Hey, little mama.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in the ear.
That's basically what we're asking.
Hey, it's me, Jet, good friend of Shago's. Thanks for tuning in to WMUR.
Chulten Radio.
Chilten Radio.
NPR. CPR. Chilton Public Radio.
Jet, right as you finish the sending, the door swings open
Of course it
and
does.
Mercenary steps forward. She is wearing an outfit that none of you have quite seen her in before. It appears to be almost fully golden silk, and it's a long dress with a low dip in the front and back, and jade clasps at the shoulders. Her hair is not pushed in front of her ears, but sort of hanging loosely, though at times it's sort of laced in with dangling silver jewelry and other things. She has on her usual dinosaur skin belt with the various accoutrements hanging off of it. This time in particular, a arrowhead that must have been dipped in gold hanging off the left side of it. She looks very good. She seems to be wearing all of the jewelry in her arsenal, and she's carrying a silver coffee tray that has a hodgepodge of mugs, beans, pots, other things. And she'll enter a bright smile on her face, the kind that's like almost showing off her gums. She'll go, "Good morning, everybody. It's the summer solstice. I hope I didn't wake you up early. I had done some She'll look at Duvanith. But I hope everyone was having a good day. Is everyone having a good? Is their day good?
Can you just
Yes,
get
it's
on with
going
the
quite
part?
well.
Can you just say it? We all
What?
know. Just say it.
Say what?
Just like pointing to Devon's head.
That's Duvanith. Duvanith Elenos, courtier of Neverwinter, archer.
True. Very true.
And she's got short hair, doesn't she?
It's shocking.
Yeah, it's very new.
It is.
I cut it last night for her.
She's not looking at Duvanith.
She does
She's
the
not
fucking
looking at the
Scott
group.
Pilgrim. I can't be with her. She's fickle.
She's definitely sitting in that chair.
Why aren't you looking at her? It's so weird.
Don't torture
It's-
her.
No, it's not.
It's a functional haircut. Soul did a good job.
She'll look over
All
at
puffed up,
Duvanith
all
and then her
happy.
eyes kind of slide to the side. Sully did a good job. It looks really nice.
He puffs up all proud of himself. Thank you. I did quite a nice job. It's been a while.
Jet does like a little maniacal giggle, seeing her so like distressed.
So what are your plans for today, Kosakal? What is the tradition of the summer solstice?
Really glad you asked. She'll gesture with one hand at the silver tracer stip and she'll correct herself and grab it. She'll glide forward, the dress sort of breezing as she does so, and she'll sit it down and start getting the whole tray sort of gathered together. She talks her back to Devoneth. So the summer solstice is, at the start of our season of war. It marks the toughest time of the year for the Omuans. This is when we would all bunker down and hope that the scorching hot wouldn't destroy our crops.
Logic,
Usually
right?
it's marked by uprisings and a variety of other things, as everybody in court has settled into the same buildings and all of the tensions have begun to gather. It's about what did you ask me?
Your traditions. What is solstice all about
Oh,
for you?
Yvonne's hair.
so please stop bringing up Duvonna's hair, Jet.
But
All
it's
right,
so
yeah, it looks nice.
fascinating. It
Okay,
is.
it looks really good.
It's
all right,
amazing.
it's nice.
It's beautiful.
Devonna, you should have gotten short hair earlier. Great. See, are you happy, Jet?
Very
Are you
much.
happy?
Does it feel good to get it
I've
off your
had short hair.
chest?
Can we stop talking about my hair? It's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. See,
I don't know
now
why you
you're
would make
making
us so.
Devonna uncomfortable.
I don't know why you would make it so uncomfortable just talking about a head like that. I
I'm
don't
not-
understand.
I love the summer solstice. I'm not going to lie.
So some of the traditions today is we start off the day with cleaning. We empty out our rooms, get rid of the things we want. There's some light gift giving. Jet, clear that expression off your face before I cut your boyfriend's dick off.
Ooh, someone's in a mood today.
Yeah, I'm in a mood today.
Seems like a good one. It looks good on you.
Ew. Are you flirting with me?
No, you're not my type. Sorry.
Anyways,
I'm so done.
the summer solstice is usually marked by strife. The first few hours are spent cleaning, fasting, putting on all of your best wares. During the summer solstice, you're allowed to show off your vanity. Not that that's ever stopped me before. You get into
Mark, you're
debates,
killing me.
dueling. In a few hours, I'll have to change into some other outfits. The Arakakra have free reign to challenge me to duels. I think Tyrion said something about a pecking order, and then he laughed. I don't know what that means.
Of course he did. Of course he did. You know, I'm honestly, how am I ever shocked that he giggles at that every time? Don't ask.
What he's talking about
And
either. It's
then
not a gay
after
thing.
lunch, and then after the dueling, we'll have lunch. We'll settle into war games, philosophy. I know that I'll finally be able to play my strategy game with artists, which I'm really excited for. And then we'll party until the sun sets.
Sounds like a lovely day.
Music, I know, it's really great. Very excited.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. Well,
Are you
I
guys
suppose
staying for the full day?
I intend to.
I don't
I
think
believe-
Kawashak has a choice.
I don't think so.
yes. I
Well,
think
Jet
we
can
still have
just do.
some.
Quit being rude. I was being nice to you.
I think we still have some plans up in the air, but more. There's a high possibility of us staying the day.
Right.
Wait, you're
Uh,
gonna give Tyrion craft for the pecking order thing, but not the soul up in the air thing.
What?
Oh, that's so
Aarakocra
bad.
jokes.
Because we're 500 feet off the ground, up in the air. So,
I didn't. What did I say?
Oh no, it wasn't on purpose. I'm sorry.
I literally don't know what I said. What did I say?
No, so Tyrion made a pun about there being a pecking order amongst the Aarakocra, and then you made a thing. You inadvertently made a pun about being up in the air, and we're 500 feet up a cliff right now on Kirsten
Oh, yeah. I did not mean to make that fun.
Obviously.
Soul, I talked with Queen Napaka. She told me that you might have missed your birthday. You do birthday
I
gifts?
It's been a while since I've had a proper birthday party. I will admit that. I would not be opposed to gift if that's something
Alright.
that you would want to do.
I already made it for you. I'll be right back.
Yes.
And she'll hike the dress skirt up around her knees and quickly dash out of the room.
Anything back from her?
No. No, but I was gonna ask, this is what we want to ruin, and let her have the option to know.
I mean, if she hasn't gotten back, that answers the question to some
It
extent.
could as well.
Did the spell go through?
I don't.
It-
Actually, I would know that because that's what happened to Jabal. So did nothing come back like the way it did with Jabal?
So the spell went through.
Fish?
Mark shakes the magic 8 ball. Unclear.
Okay.
Damn it.
Did the spell go through or not? Like, Jet would know that.
No, okay, all I'm asking is, did Jet receive the same error message that he got with Jabal?
No, if you
Okay.
received the same error message, you would have received the same error
Okay.
message.
So...
But you don't
So
know if
she's
it went
alive.
through.
Yeah. So I didn't get a the number you're trying to call cannot be reached message. So she may have gotten it. She's just not replying.
Well, I mean, we can sit on that and that reply. She might also, a couple of the things I thought of, be under some sort of magical sleep, or a paralysis, or a petrification. There's
Yes. But regardless, we know she's alive. She hasn't died since the last time we saw her. It wasn't a memory.
right.
Well, no, technically it was.
But
So
we know that. Yes.
you hear Mercenary's voice and the door swings open, and she's holding something round and sort of dome-shaped in both of her hands. And she'll scurry forward and pull the handkerchief off, and it's a round thing of bread. The smell of yeast is overwhelming. You can tell that it was very clearly badly made, but you can see that there's like cheese in it, and she'll extend it.
So
I had to
no, go ahead. I'll
I
explain
had to
after
get
that.
yeast from Partneon Zaru. I never made bread before. I didn't know it could rise like that. I think I left it in the oven for too long. But you got really excited over the bread, and so
So Sol was kind of looking a little bit agitated before, but then as soon as she comes in, reveals bread. Y'all have never seen a dragonborn wag its tail before? Sol is wagging his tail.
Ow.
Sorry.
Just take
Sorry.
out Duvana's ankles.
Bread. You made bread. It looks. You did not have to do that. That is. May I?
What?
Can I cut it open?
So it's yours.
So it's your present.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if she has handed it over yet or not.
Yeah, it's on the table. It is pushed
Okay.
in your direction.
Okay,
She
okay,
gives you a
okay.
weird look as she starts to pour a cup of coffee.
Yes, sorry. I haven't had coffee yet this morning. Sol brings it over and takes out his Duvaneth dagger and starts cutting open some slices. And he saves a large piece of the heel for himself, and then he cuts slices for everyone else.
As
And
Sol
saves the seed for Alba too.
as Sol pulls out Duvana's dagger and then cuts bread with it, she goes, "But we'll take the slice of bread
Totally.
nonetheless."
That feeling.
Yes. He saves the other heel for Alba. There's like 4 heels though, so Sol, Jet, and Duvaneth get the other heels.
She'll set a cup of coffee in front of Duvaneth and then sort of lightly tap Kovashok. Do you want some?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Do you,
Kosha.
do you want poison in it?
Wait, what?
Oh, that's technically I can't get drunk. It's a whole Yanti thing, so I just literally eat poison instead.
Here you go.
No,
What?
thank you.
What a life that
I
is.
thought I cut this piece special.
I was not talking to you about the bread. I was talking to Majonari about putting poison in my coffee. I would very much like to try the bread.
I assumed that would be the case, but then I misunderstood. Would either of you like to try the bread? Majunari? Taste the fruits of your labor.
No. Ew.
Wait.
Damn.
You have poison here and you're putting it in coffee?
Yeah, of course I have poison here, Duvaneth. You think I'm gonna have 4 adventurers sleep at my house and I'm not gonna have poison?
That's kind of fair.
Because we know we haven't saved her life, so obviously she's gonna stab us in the dark.
I mean, if she
I'm
didn't
not
know
gonna
us.
stab you in the dark. I'd blunt my knife.
I don't know why, Fish, but you make me want to just attack you every time.
This is legit Majonari friendship.
But the funny part is, anything bad happens, Jen is the first one to like strap up and just destroy the world.
I'm Duvana's just on her temple, sitting over here, trying to literally plan a political assassination.
Oh no!
The day after, or the day of the season of war starting, I guess, and we're putting the poison in the coffee.
Welcome to Chult.
It's just for
Duvaneth, do you
me.
want
I like my coffee a little
poison?
spicy.
Depends on
Because
what,
I can make you.
depends on what kind.
I can make any kind, especially if it's flower based. Nightshade. There's
Ooh, that's the good
some
stuff.
fungal based ones I can make.
Mark out of character. Purple worm, please.
No, that's so fucking
Lord.
powerful.
That'd
God,
be so
Tootsie almost died
deadly.
to that. I wonder if Tootsie still has that. No, Herman has it. Oh god, that's worse.
There's your political assassination in Neverwinter.
Oh god. Duvanath with that
do you,
would be nasty because I double those dice.
yeah, you do.
Anyways, sorry.
Do you happen to have any of that poison that was in the dart left, Duvaneth?
No, it was just the one. I wrapped it up, and all that was left. I went on it, but Alba is here. Maybe he could tell us a little bit more about it.
Oh yeah, we didn't tell Alba that she almost killed me.
I think it was brought up once. I thought because I think I do recall being like, by the way, we went into your
Oh yeah, no, I
secret
remember
room.
that. You're right.
Oh, yeah, and he was wondering why it was you all took the tapestry.
It tried to kill us.
So
I'm sorry.
do you
it was
want the poison or
Maybe.
okay, well just let me know. I mean, it'll take a few hours, but it won't take as long as the gloves for me to make the poison.
Cool. Not trying to take too much of your time and not on a holiday.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm treating it a little bit more breezier than I should. The first few hours are supposed to be meant in contemplation, but not.
shocking
Making my
chatting.
ancestors cry.
Duvaneth will look down at herself and then like just sort of run her hand through what's left of her hair and say, "Yeah, when I came out to the jungle, I didn't realize I was going to be participating in a holiday about vanity or with a portion about vanity. It would have could have been fun."
You're really quiet, Jason.
It's
Oh,
because
sorry.
you keep cutting out. I think it's because you're a little quiet.
Yeah.
Let me turn up my gain. Sick gains, bro.
Gotta get more
Now that you're
gain.
closer, we can hear you. Duvaneth.
Thanks for the ASMR of your groans, Jason.
Yep. Is that better?
Probably.
Yes.
We'll see what happens when you talk
Alright.
quieter.
Yeah, talk the way you were before. Please go again with the butch hair coming back thing.
Oh, Duvaneth will sort of motion down to herself there, her half finished doublet jacket, and will just sort of briefly run her hand through her now trimmed hair and said, "Well, if I knew that I was going to be out here participating in a holiday about vanity, I would have come more prepared."
I think you're prepared enough.
Duvaneth
I
just
mean,
slowly looks down at herself. My pants have bloodstains on them.
And
She'll just motion. Yeah.
okay.
I think she's saying she's okay with it.
I thought. No, never mind.
Anyways, I have to go be out and about doing other things. Ivanov, I need your help making a spiral mechanism thing for your gloves and Kovshok. I wanted to speak with you privately about some things, but we can do that later. And she'll gesture to the door. And as she says that, Jet, the voice of a woman fills your head. She says words, and you're not able to parse out what they mean. But her tone is frantic, and her voice is cracked. You can feel the alarm, you can feel the distress, you can feel the confusion, and it's like a tidal wave of pain hitting you all at once.
I'm looking just to see
I'm gonna
if
be out and about.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, she meant a spring. A spiral thing, a spring. Of course.
Okay, so it as long as it has intelligence, it knows I'm replying. Jet has like like he just saw a ghost. Like he's turned a lighter shade of blue, and he's in like almost shock. He's like,
Soul's looking at him inquisitively. You're muted, Muty.
I think he just drank somebody's soup or something. It's very spicy to other people, I think.
Duvaneth nods.
No, that makes sense. I wasn't too worried about it. But I'm gonna head out and take care of some things. I have to get changed. I have to go duel Nafir, Azuk, Brother Tenzin, and a few of the others, which is going to be very fun. I haven't
That's
fought
fun.
anybody in a while.
What happens if we were to lose a duel?
Koshkal.
Out of curiosity. Sorry. You can go, Koshok.
I was just going to say, once it reaches around noon, if you want to reach me, I will be asleep in underneath the skylight in the pile of pillows Tyrion has set up for me.
Okay.
You said you wanted to talk to me, but later is better.
Uh,
Well, it's about 10:38 right now, so I'll make sure to get to you. Should place a cup of coffee in front of you. Please make sure not to get those two mixed up. Duvaneth, if you even get a sip of that, I think it will actually kill you. They should be distinctly marked. And she'll gesture at the two very distinctly marked coffee mugs.
poison? Not poison.
Duvaneth's just going to hold it up in front of Soul and just sort of like wave her hand around it to make sure he has a mental image of what the mug looks like. Put it back down.
Like, Kojak
I've already
just
memorized
switches
all the
them
different
at
mugs in
some
this house.
point
You're
and
good.
doesn't tell anybody, and he just wants to see what happens. He just wants chaos to reign.
What happens if you're unable to participate in a duel or lose a duel? Koshok? Not Koshok. Kuska? Mishmanari?
Oh,
I was just
well,
curious.
I never lose a duel. So,
I was just curious.
is she not
It
looking
was
in?
it was like a sort of like lose the entire kingdom, etc. kind of thing. Because I don't know what.
Is she looking in
no, I'm
Jet's
not going to lose the
direction?
entire kingdom.
Oh wait, no,
She's kind of looking in and around.
Fuck no. Soul's sitting next to Jet, so she like Jet's in her view. Never mind. Jet's gonna like keep his mouth shut. He's like,
No, the throne of Omu is passed down by blood. Even if they went against me in a duel, all I would have to do is give them a favor or a court position, but it's more of a formality to make me accustomed to
Protecting.
fighting for my right.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting to know. I like learning about the cultures of Chult.
How are the duels fought? Is it 10 paces and hand crossbows, or?
No, we stand in a circle, and the objective is to draw first bleeding or to get them out of the circle. So what I tend to do is I just run up really fast, pick them up, and throw them.
That works. That's actually very good. You'll have to tell us when you plan on fighting them because I want to see this.
Well, in 20 minutes. I just have to go get changed. All right. I'm going to steal Yoka from you all if you don't mind. He has some presents for me. Rocks, which I love getting. I love rocks.
Save me. Please save me.
Wait, did I get... Oh, I found a... soul get a little pebble the other day while we were going
No,
through?
Koshak got the pebble, and then he gave the pebble to Yoka, like, here, Yoka, you want a really cool rock? And Yoka was like, ah, yes.
Oh, because there was like the little Sip Boy.
Yes, you did get a really cool
Chwinga?
pebble.
Yeah, the Schwinga. Okay. Because I could have sworn Soul got a Schwinga, or someone got a Schwinga. So
Yeah,
I didn't.
no, he got a
Uh,
Chwinga, and the
came
Chwinga
by
was
and
like, here.
visited you.
Okay, yeah, cool. I brain dead. Couldn't remember. Thank you. Sorry. I also got a cool rock, and he will pull out his little pebble. Has a Schwinga in it.
Nice.
He tucks it back into his pocket and gives it a little pat.
What is with this fucking party and rocks?
For geologists.
She'll pick the tray. And she'll set it down and take a step back and sort of gesture at her outfit again. Do you guys think I look nice? Is it too much? Tyrion
You
said
look
I should have showed
lovely.
off my legs more, but I feel like that was a bit too much for me. Do I look nice?
Maybe, like, your ankles, though.
Showing off my feet.
And
You look
what if it
lovely.
rides up while I'm running and it shows off my calves?
I mean, you did
will-
lift your dress up when you ran, so either way.
Duvaneth will say, I like the jade accents.
Thank you.
Wait, she's shown this dress. I thought. You look lovely, Rajunari. We match. That was you, Mark.
Say that again?
Do I look nice? Do you think the outfit is too much?
Mm.
I know we fight a lot, but I do want to know if you think it looks good.
You look great. I promise you look so great. I just remembered something, and I'm trying not to lose my brain cells.
Was it about the fight you and Tyrion had?
What?
Tyrion came up to me just a few minutes ago and said you two had a fight.
Oh, yeah. I need to talk to him too.
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
The cupboard!
You know what I'm
Your
about to ask you
cupboard!
for, Mark.
I don't want to do
Make a
it.
deception check.
Get that deception
Make a
check.
deception check.
That minus
Come
one.
on.
That -1, baby.
Duvaneth will touch her hair and try to help.
She'll do like Butch thing where you go like this.
She'll like lean against the wall, sort of like pull
You're just
back,
like-
show off the biceps if he has.
Is Duvaneth actually doing that?
No, she doesn't. I'm just being dick.
All of a sudden, Duvaneth leans back and the lights just go low and you just hear some weird bass music coming. Hey, oh god.
Who is playing Marvinette Gaye? What? All right, come on, deception check, pretty boy. Come on.
Oh my god.
Shit.
It's
I didn't have
not
to
a.
tell her.
It's not.
Someone
It's
told
not
you
a
about.
critical fail.
It's not a
it's
critical
a
fail.
one.
But
It's not critical fail. It's 2, but a 1. It's not a 0, guys. It's not a 0.
Did she
That's the
critical
important part.
fail?
No. Missionary will lean against the table and give Jet a concerned look. Jet, what happened? If you two didn't have a fight, is it
Can
something
I
to do with the cubes?
Can I pick up what's happening with my insight at this point?
Oh, yeah, I mean, all of you guys are gathered around the table. You're, like,
Yeah.
able to pick up that
Yeah,
Jet
he rolled
is
a
in a
1, we can
corner.
tell.
It's like on my
Cole
face.
is like taking a sip of his coffee, except the sip isn't stopping. He's just drinking his entire cup of coffee in one go.
Yeah. Soul's, like, looking between everyone that's, like, looking at him, like, as a, "Should I say something?"
Devon just is sort of like,
Did Tyrion do something? Is it something to do with the cubes, the terraphone?
The cubes, yeah, it does kind of have to do with the cubes, yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Is it something that I can help with?
No.
Okay. And she'll glance around at the others, trying to, like, kind of get their read on the situation.
Devon will just sort of like scrunch her brow and like shrug her shoulders. And
Soul's Soul has to make a deception check.
Oh, Soul's doing deception.
He's
Ooh.
not
Kojak is
going
cool as a
to
cucumber.
go he's not going to break his promise with you guys, but he's also really wants to tell her. So he's going to try to hide it.
It's a little bit. It's
I don't
way
know
better
how to feel
than
about that.
Jet. It's way better than Jet.
Oh no. It was a 12. Does that mean anything to I don't know what Coast Call rolled on her insight.
I think she did it again.
Missionary kind of looks at Soul weirdly. And now she's less concerned and more
Angry.
Yeah.
not angry,
Suspicious,
but
probably.
like, yeah, majorly
Yeah, she knows we're hiding
suspicious.
something.
Yellow looking pretty sus.
True.
Yeah, he is. He's looking at all of you guys. Like,
Devon at this point will just roll her eyes and like wave her hand.
he looks to Koashok and Jet.
I mean, we are concerned about the Terrafolk. Doing the whole mission is going to be very dangerous, and they do know that we know you. And part of our concern is that if we fail this mission, they might come after you and Kirsaval. It's raised a major concern.
She'll lean back and nod, a little at ease, but still clinging to some doubt. If the Starfolk come after Kirsabal, that's a given. They know where we live. Sure, they've been familiarizing themselves with how we operate. Nafir was held captive by them for a few weeks, and I mean, they were asking him all sorts of things. If they come after here, we're more than well prepared for them. I'm a talented spellcaster. Tyrion is great. Crucible will be fine. You guys shouldn't worry about us.
Azek does seem to be doing a good job with coordinating the guard cycles.
He has actually. He's made himself useful.
It's good to hear.
If there's any other way that I can reassure you guys, but don't worry about the Terrafoot coming after Kirsabal. Well, take care of them if they do.
Okay. Sorry, princess.
It's okay. She'll clasp Koshak on the shoulder and sort of move around to give Jet a squeeze on the shoulder as well. You all four need to brighten up, though. Stop looking so dour.
I don't know if I can even look dour at this point, but that's just me.
We've all been through worse things, so...
Have we?
I've been through worse things, and I've lived through it. And if I've done that, then all four of you can suck it up. That's my sole pep talk of the day. I'm never giving another one. Please don't look upset in front of me ever again. I hate doing that. And she'll pick up the coffee tray and take her leave.
What'd you see?
Nothing?
What'd you hear?
A language I didn't understand. But she sounded frantic and her voice was very broken. If I'm going to do another spell, I'm gonna have to use tongues. So that way I can at least understand her.
The spell doesn't translate automatically?
Surprisingly not.
Are we telling her?
I think we just answered it with everybody having the opportunity to. No one did.
I wanted to, but it wasn't a group decision.
Well, maybe we should cast. Maybe we should cast one more sending. And Jet can use his spell so he can understand it. And get better understanding of what the situation is, and if it is a rush job, let's make it a rush job and tell her and go right now.
Do you remember what she said well enough to repeat it?
No.
Jet?
I don't know the language, so I can't promise anything. It's the same thing as me asking you to speak primordial, repeat primordial, and you've never heard it before.
Well,
You're not
like specific types of words that stood out. Nothing. You're a linguist.
But I don't. But I've never studied this language.
Well,
and if she was frantic, I'm sure she was speaking fast.
And it's very hard to understand fast Chilten if you've never studied the language before.
True. And, well, he studied Chulten, so if it's something he doesn't recognize at all, then I'd probably be able to translate it anyways.
It might also be Omuan.
Omuan could be Omuan as well.
Probably that.
So
if I do this
try
spell,
again.
What do you want me to say on this one, though? Because this is different. She must have understood me because somehow, but I need her to give us information we need on this one.
Are they going to kill you? Or do you want us to tell Skull? Here's our ETA.
Does your tongue spell stay up for a long time, or would it only be good for one message?
Well, tongues allows me to hear and speak the language, actually. No, I don't have that other one. I could have done understand, like comprehend. It lasts for an hour.
So
for a couple messages.
So wait, tongues is just speak but not understand?
No, speak and understand. Any spoken language that I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should you do that one so you can also...
Well, once I do sending, I can do languages, but then that kills my entire 3rd level spells.
But also, I'm worried about whether or not she understood
She
you.
understood, yeah.
Yeah. Could do both.
And
Yeah.
Did you understand? My first thing could be, did you understand my message? And then just let her know that we're coming to rescue her.
And
The fact that she replied, maybe she understood Shago at least, so maybe that was enough. If she didn't understand everything, I think Shago is a name that doesn't matter what language you know who Shago is.
Shago would probably agree.
He would.
that did sound like a thing Shag would say. So, alright. For the time being, we have to make this as good a day as possible. So I'm going to go get changed into something more fitting for today. And in the meantime, we figure out what to send her again with tongues this time.
I figured while we send it and then you all can go get dressed and I could wait.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Instead of, if she's awake now, it means she'll answer sooner, which means at least tongues will be used within the hour.
And if we need to go immediately, make some plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to go immediately.
Well, if we have to ask her if she wants Coast Skull to know, because I'm not comfortable not telling her. This is an emergency. She's allowed to know. She should know.
At least not today.
There isn't going to be time tomorrow.
Of course there is. We'll wake up in the morning for breakfast.
If her mother's going to die 2 days from now, how are we supposed to explain we waited until tomorrow to tell you?
That's
How are we
exactly why we need to hear back from her, and if it's an emergency, we need to go now.
And how would we explain that we stayed here instead of going? Like, either way, it's going to be our fault whether she dies now or dies tomorrow. Because we didn't move fast enough.
We're not. If we know she's alive, and we have confirmation now, we didn't before. It was unwise to go before because we didn't know. It could have been a trap. Now we know she's alive. It would be unwise not to act as fast as possible.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
That's my thoughts on the matter.
Let's just wait to hear back. Just
Yeah,
wait to hear
we
back
should
from her son.
we should send that next message, and then if it's, I mean, the first one sounded frantic. I don't have high hopes for this one. If it's comparably as bad, we should. Joanna will take a breath and say something and get moving as fast as possible with whatever assistance the Air Cobra and Koshkal can offer.
Paul is capable. If she does come with us, I mean, that's her choice. It's not a great choice, but she's capable. Especially when she's not starving. The last time we were traveling with her, she was in bad straits, but now she's had time to rest.
And of the list of people that she listed that are here to protect Kir Sabal, she's 1/3 of those people. She shouldn't be with us, regardless of what we tell her.
I don't think it's a good idea, but it's her decision. She's the leader of this place.
All the more reason for
She
her.
knows
Well-
better than we do.
We won't know until it happens. We have a basic outline for a plan. All we can do is talk conjecture for the moment.
It's true.
Do the sending, and let's get ready.
Sounds good.
I've written something out. Did you understand my first message? Are you gonna be safe? We will come to rescue you. We will come soon to rescue you. Should we tell Koskal, she may come.
Don't ask her if Coach Call should come because we should ask her if she wants us to let her know that Coach Call's alive.
That's what I said. I said, should we tell Kosko she may come? I'm asking if we should tell her daughter because she may come. She may come with us.
Once she knows, she may come with us.
But she might say, "No, she can't come." It's not asking the question that we need to know.
Should we tell Kosko she may come? I'm saying, should we tell her? Because if we tell her, she may come with us.
I'm not sure
Okay.
what you're
Okay.
trying to get at.
So it's should we tell Coast Call? Period. She may come.
Comma, she may come. Yes. It's essentially, should we tell her? It's basically the shortest version of should we tell your daughter? Because if we do, she may come with us to rescue. That's essentially
cool.
the whole thing.
I was missing the comma. I got you now. Sorry. But that works fine for me then. Are you doing tongues first?
I'm gonna do tongue. Actually, I should do tongues first, huh? Actually,
Yeah, just in case she didn't understand you the first time, because how would she be the
rules
second?
on that one, Fish. If I send it with tongues, would it actually get to her in her language?
I'm going to rule yes.
Okay.
I've thought about it and come up with nothing conclusive, but this is what I like. So, DM
It's for the
fiat.
drama.
As this is going on, you hear
Oh, it actually says it in the
10
spell.
11 loud yells, and you can hear distant drums begin to start.
Ah, shit.
Well, it's nap time for me. But I'll follow along with you guys. Just don't be surprised if I fall asleep at some point.
Yes, of course. Phil's just gonna head out. He doesn't have time to change. He looks fine.
Duvanith is going to hang back and take a small package from her room and will place said small package in Koskal's room and then depart.
As everyone leaves, Jet will cast tongues, and then will cast sending. By the way, it does say in the spell, if a target, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says. So, it's there.
Nice.
And that is what he says.
All right. As Koshak, a space has been set for you to sleep in. At some point, some of the other Arakakra have already begun to gather, having the same plans in mind as you. And one of the Arakakra even leans over to be like, "This is a great idea. This? Just napping for a full day?
It's not.
Great.
It's not for a full day, but for the greater part. So
Hmm. I want to take the left side." Nice.
yes, I am taking the center part. I will fight any of you who argue.
There are a few Arakakra who seem like they want to start something, but they'll not say anything, and they'll all settle into the pile with you. So the doggo, as you arrive, the fight has already begun. Centered around a tight circle, 20 feet across entirely, are a tightly packed ring of Aarakocra. You can see Azek sort of hunched over on a rock, looking very foreboding as he's looking over the fight. The first Aarakocra, Nafir, it seems, has already been tossed out of the ring by Mercenary, who is wearing a quilted gambeson of some kind and plated leg armor. Greaves. And on her head, she has the skull of an Aarakocra sort of drawn over. She, much like Azek, is very foreboding, her face painted black and sort of cast in shadow. Duvaneth, you arrive as the next contestant had entered the ring, Brother Tenzin, an Aarakocra monk that had thrown some shade at you at some point.
He will not
He about
last
to
long.
get it.
The fight lasts 4 seconds. He walks forward, twirling a spear in his hand, and Mercenary waits patiently, takes 2 steps forward, grabs the spear out of his hand, and punches him so hard you can feel the cartilage in his face break, and he just crumples onto the floor in a pile. Jet. 3 minutes after your sending, you receive a message back. The woman's voice is composed, it's tight, strained. She's trying to keep as much composure as she can. She has a lovely voice. It's like bird song just hearing it. And she'll say, "Hello, my name is Razan. I live at Kirsabal. There are voices, hundreds of them. They put me in, and then they pull me out. There are spells." And then she goes quiet and doesn't say anything else.
The main thing she said is there are 100 voices, they pull me in and pull me out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then there are spells, and that's it.
Yeah.
The next message.
Okay, so since everybody's left, Jet's gonna just...
Have a little conversation with Razan.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what we gotta do right now, because holy fuck.
But that's the thing, Jet doesn't know where to go from here. Like, I live in Kirsabal.
Please continue.
There are
There we
100
go.
voices. They pull me in, they pull you out. There are spells. Yeah, and you all just left, so Jet's just sitting here, like, having to deal with this on his own now because he doesn't know where to go. Like, this isn't a
Well,
reply to him.
Yeah, he knows that Duvaneth and Sol and Koshok went to the fight,
Yeah.
so he knows where to
Oh,
find
Koshak's
us.
in a sleeping pile.
Yeah, he's somewhere
Oh,
else.
never mind then. He knows that he knows where Duvaneth and Sol are. I'm not sure where the sleeping pile is, so I don't know if Jet does.
Jet will get up and head that way then. Just contemplating what was just said to him.
There's a lull in the fighting ring as the Aarakocra sort of gather around themselves on who should fight next. Koshkal will lift the bird jaw and give a warm smile at Solidago.
2 thumbs up. Sol will sort of like lean over to another another person in the audience and say, what are the rules for going in and fighting?
You need to have a grievance that needs to be settled. Nafir wants to be released as a champion. Well, Nafir want to be released, but Missionary won. Brother Tenzin, who kind of glance over at Devanath. Usual things.
The norm.
The norm. Okay, I was just curious. Thank you.
I really don't even remember what I did to offend that guy. I also don't. I'm glad he's upset.
He can
I
stay
think I
mad.
remember. I don't remember exactly what. I think it was some sort of bullshit at the elevator. I think that's all I
Probably.
remember.
Eventually, another Aarakocra will step forward, and he will step two steps into the ring. Koshak, god damn. Missionary will drop the skull to obscure her face, and the Aarakocra will turn and leave. And then the conversations will start up again as Jet comes into the fray.
Oh, that's a lot of people.
Are we able to see Jet?
Are you paying particular attention to people coming in?
I would say that Duvanov is mostly uninterested in the fighting aspect of what is happening. So probably.
Yeah, Devana's more than able to see Jet.
She will excuse herself from wherever she's standing and make her way over there.
Soul's too busy watching the fight to see.
What is it, Jet? Did you hear back?
Yes. But I don't think she was replying to me.
What do you mean?
She said, Death's gonna look around. Is there anybody near him?
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty tightly packed space. There's a lot of people around.
Okay. I know you're good understanding. I'm not gonna say these out loud. My name is. I live at. There are 100 voices. They pull me in, pull me out. There are spells. And it sounded like she was cut off at the end.
Duvanov will sort of nod and say, I think we're going to have to tell Koshkal. 100 voices, that falls in line with what Azek said, except the Terrafolk King has called all those Terrafolk back to Firefang. We're not going to be able to, I don't think, without help.
Possibly.
And spells, I mean, if the area is warded or whatever, flying in would be contagious. Hold on, let me get Soul. And she'll sort of like go and find Soul and tug on his shirt.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
So, you are watching Artis and Missionary fight. The fight had been going on for about 18 seconds. Most of it, the two of them just kind of circling around and getting a good gauge on themselves. Artis has a bow and a full quiver of arrows, but is a little uneasy about using them. Missionary is waiting for an opening.
Soul is enjoying the hell out of this. He's like invested. He's having a great time watching this. He's like come on, make your move, take a step. Come on. And then I assume Duvanov pulls him away right before it gets good.
His hand reaches for the quiver. He pulls out an arrow, starts to knock. Tug, tug.
Duvaneth pokes her head in and says,
Yeah,
Jet,
just one second.
Jet just heard something. Oh God, what is he doing with that arrow? That's embarrassing.
Yeah,
What
I know,
an
right?
absolute
Horrible. Yeah.
noob.
I could do an arrow better than that. But Jet her back.
Yeah, and it's no.
Fuck, okay.
The arrow releases and thunks solidly into Mercenari's chest, piercing
shit.
through the gambeson. She staggers back, but stays standing. Artis looks at her and pulls another arrow.
Can't wait 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think 100 Terrafoot can wait 2 seconds.
Soul was looking to go back, and then he just spit get caught in throat, just starts coughing. It's like, what? Go. It's following after you. What?
Duvaneth isn't moving. She's now invested and is going to wait the extra 2 seconds.
Soul's paying attention again. He's like still coughing, but he's still trying to look.
Artis looks concerned. All of the bravado he might have been carried, not there, and he's kind of cautiously drawing the bow as Mercenary, her face obscured, does nothing except pull at her gambeson, and the arrow slides out and clatters to the floor.
Ooh, some silk
She
shit.
gestures wide and then charges forward, her feet hitting the ground solidly. Her shoulder knocks into Artis, who didn't have enough time to switch to his daggers. He's on the floor, and Mercenary moves up, saddles his chest, and starts beating his face into the dirt.
Duvaneth will just shake her head and see. This is why I don't get this. This is wholly unrealistic. If somebody charges me like that, they're going to be dead because I'm going to be 75 feet away.
Well, I mean, it didn't really stop the fire newts.
I fired 2 arrows. Both of them hit, and one was a 1-shot, 1 kill. And then I was so far away that, come on, Soul.
Low blow, Soul.
Soul chuckles in spite the horrible news that he knows he's about to hear.
About to receive.
Yeah, it's like he'll take that win. Not that it's a win. He still chuckles because and it's like, okay, let's go. Fight's over.
Missionary will stand, and Artis will as well. The fight is not over. Artis is going for his daggers.
We need to go. I'm going to get distracted.
I'm invested in this. Watching artists fight is hilarious.
Okay, but I'm going to go find Jet then. Soul's going to go find Jet.
Yeah. I already heard it.
I've already
Alright,
heard
so
this
Soul
before.
and Jet.
Yes.
Okay. Where's
Go quick.
do want to?
Coach Skull and Arts are fighting. It's really cool.
Okay. So we're not gonna have like a group conversation about this.
Well, when we get Koshak, we will. But it's like, sorry, I'm getting distracted. What did you say?
Who she was, where she's from. There are 100 voices. They pull me in. They pull me out. There are spells. Sounds like she wasn't even answering what I asked her.
It means she has more pressing information than what we have for her.
I don't know.
Asked her. At least if I don't know, if I was in that situation, that's what I'd do, and that's the mentality I'm using.
Shouldn't we have this conversation with everyone?
We probably should, but Duvaneth got distracted by the fight.
And
It's
so
a really
are you.
good fight. It's a really good fight.
Then go. It's not like we can talk now because it's only me and you.
Okay, we were back. Soul goes back to the fight.
I
I
swear.
mean,
Says something to Devon. Sway him, sway
Duvanith
him.
was the one that got distracted by the fight. I was just kind of.
Jet's gonna slowly walk behind Soul like uninterested. God, he's just like Cobalt. And slowly.
Take offense to that. Excuse.
You weren't there.
I mean, he kind of is.
He kind of is.
Devon,
There's nothing
in
I can say
the
about that.
brief time that the two had ran off to talk, the fight had again returned to the tense circling. Mujinari is not light on her feet. She isn't moving as much as someone in her position should, but she is moving. And while her dagger isn't drawn the way that Artis has his, her hand is on her hip, and she's fingering the sheath, ready to draw at any moment.
Ice pick grip, ice
Just
pick
takes a
grip.
step forward, and Missionary, with one hand, picks her skull up, whips it off of her face, and whips it at Artis, and it hits him solidly in the chest, and it's just jarring enough that he is disorientated for a few seconds, and Missionary takes a chance to drop to her knee and gesture with both hands, muttering under her voice in a low incantation, a language that is upsetting and vile to hear. The same language Duvanith had heard Koshak speak once into a sending stone. And I'm going to make a wisdom save. And Artis's body begins to convulse as he tries to throw off the effects of the spell. A expression that has no words, but it's definitely one of pride, goes over Mojinari's face as she'll stand and sort of gesture at Artis, and he will take his dagger and, with shaking arms, draw the blade across his hand and drop the dagger. And Mujinari will turn to Devanith and Soul, give a deep bow, snap her fingers, and walk off the circle.
Oh, Soul, you're back. See, and again, this is just one of those things where it's wholly unrealistic because she couldn't have done that if she couldn't have seen him, which there's just no cover or concealment.
Perhaps you should have fought her then.
Have you been listening to anything that I've been saying?
A little bit. We should have a group discussion.
Yeah, most likely.
Do you know where Koshak is? Fuck.
A pillow pile?
What was that?
A pillow pile somewhere, I believe he
There's
said.
a pillow pile somewhere?
Is that a euphemism for something, or
No, it just sounds amazing.
that didn't answer my question?
No, a pillow pile isn't a thing.
You don't
I
sound
don't
very
think.
sure.
I don't know. They come up with new things all the time.
Okay.
But it sounds very comfortable. But I'll just look for a pillow pile then. And Soul, using his height advantage among all these tiny Aarakocra, is looking around for a pillow pile.
I believe it
So,
was
as you begin your
downstairs.
search, Koshak, Moshinari finds you first. Her face paint is obscured by sweat, driplets running through. There's a marring of black that's mixed with the yellow painted on her neck. And she's holding the skull in her hand as she approaches the pile and kicks you.
Yeah. Ow.
I
Why?
wasn't sure how in deep sleep you were.
Why?
It was adrenaline. Get up. We need to have a conversation.
Fine, fine. What is it?
Up, up, up. Not here. I'm asking
Mm.
about Rosnacy.
He like looks around at all the other coker and he's like, none of you better steal my spot. And he gets up and walks out of the pillow pile.
She'll wait about 5 feet away, then extend her elbow for Koshak to take.
He does so. He's, despite being in the sun, he's like warm to the touch, but he's still not emanating warmth.
She's radiating heat, wearing a thick gambeson and having just been in back-to-back fights has definitely taken its toll. But she'll do her best to escort him. So you're with
Yeah.
Rosnacy.
Oh yeah, that. Mm-hmm.
Were you forced to be with him?
Well, technically, yes, I suppose.
Okay. She'll make a face. She's concentrating. Do you have feelings for him?
Next question.
Do you have feelings for him? Do you have romantic feelings for Rosnacy?
Can we skip this one? I just woke up.
Do you have romantic feelings for
I don't
Rosnacy?
know. God,
Do you not
so
know?
nosy. What do you mean? How do I not know?
How do you not know? How do you know in the first place if you do have that?
Well,
Don't me.
when I first met Isham and Namira, I knew that I liked them a lot compared to whatever it was I was trying to have with Rosnasi. I wanted to see them every day. I wanted to make sure that they were safe. I wanted to make sure they had what they needed to survive and live and do whatever it is that they needed to do.
That's it?
What do you mean, Nessie?
Well, is that it?
Yes. You're
So
talking
there
to
wasn't
someone who
any.
cares about like 3 people. This doesn't happen for me.
Yeah, hey, that's good. That's why I asked you. There was no spark or anything?
What do you mean by spark?
You know, the spark. It's a thing in books.
Being horny?
No.
But
No. No.
I'm
I
not the
just
kind of person whose heart beats faster when they're in love or in romantic love. I see someone, and if they don't feel like home, I'm not interested.
she'll nod, and then she'll sort of turn on her heel and look at Kowashak. Not quite looking at him, but looking at his nose. Thank you. That's what I need to know. It saved me from having to ask Jet or Solidago.
Why do you
I'm
feel
sorry.
a spark with someone?
No, that's why I asked.
Ah, yes, the old no, that's why I asked. You obviously had a reason for
I've-
asking.
Obviously, Koshak, I don't ask things that I don't
Well,
need to
then
ask.
why?
I'm not going to tell you why. That's not for you to know.
And my personal relationships are? For you to know?
Yes.
No.
That wasn't a witty comeback.
I know it wasn't a witty comeback. What do you want?
That was it. I got what I wanted. I just also wanted to let you know that these are a very strange string of words I'm about to say. Frosmacy doesn't deserve you. I believe you can do better than him.
I know.
Friends are coming, and she'll gesture over at Soul, who's fastly approaching from some stable, and she'll pat Koshak on the shoulder. I'm not going to apologize for being invasive. You kind of deserved it. And she'll take her leave.
Koshak just does a little and turns to greet the group. Hello.
Hey, everything all right?
I was rudely awoken from my sleep pile and
Yeah, I looked in the
one of
sleep
them took my
file, and there was
spot.
there was a couple. There was a couple of guys. I assumed you would have been like warm spot in the middle. Yeah.
Huh, so that's a pillow pile.
We got.
Yes,
we
what
got
did you
some
think
more.
it was, Duvanith?
Frankly, I don't.
Okay, fair. What do you guys want?
We heard some new. Got some new information. Think it changes some things.
Okay. What's the information?
So looks
Jet.
to Jet.
Do we want to have it here in front of this pillow pile? Or maybe someplace private so we can decide who knows?
Fine, lead the way.
Okay. Where are we going?
Where is most private? I don't know.
I
A
don't.
room? One of our rooms? The dining room? Not the dining room. Bad idea.
Let's just head back to the house right now. We can figure out where to go from there.
Mm.
We can just my room there.
Okay. And we'll start heading that way.
Right, you make your way through the crowds. You can hear some more drums beating, and some of the Arakakra on top of the plateau have started to gather together in song. The sound of it sort of carrying with you guys as you make your way back to the house where you are alone.
So,
All right, Jet.
So I want to start off by saying it didn't sound like she was talking to me because she didn't answer any of my questions. She said her name. She said she was from here, and she said there are 100 voices. They pulled me in, pulled me out. There are spells, and it sounded like she got cut off because she reached the limit of the spell.
Hmm. Would Kojak recognize anything by that descriptor?
No. Nothing that I could tell you, anyways.
Okay. It's very confusing. I'm not sure what she's referring to, but it doesn't sound like she's in a good space.
She sounded like she was composed, way more composed than the first first message that I didn't hear, um, she sounded like the royalty that she was, as straightforward and who's knocking on the door? Who's here? Anyways, it sounded like she was just composed of what she was saying instead of just answering the questions and stuff like that. I don't know if she was telling us that's telling us how many terrafolk there are, or she lost her mind and is just telling us she hear voices and they're pulling her in and out. I don't know.
Worrisome.
A bit. Because if it's the first thing, then that's a lot of enemies to deal with just us.
Well, I think that it settles it that we need to engage with Kushkal and Azek, put together some sort of front, essentially.
If we don't want Coach Call to go, I have an idea of. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if she's going to be fighting for the rest of the day or if that was just the one time in the ring. But
Fighting only lasts for so long.
then maybe not. But I asked, and the reason they fight is because there's a quarrel, something that needs to be decided. And if I say my quarrel is that she plans on going to Kirsapal with us, and I
You
win.
mean Firefinger?
But yes, sorry. Then she might be forced by tradition to stay.
I mean, if we're planning on telling her, we should just get it over with and see where the die falls after that.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just concerned about the 100 voices. I mean, Azek said that there's only 10 terrafolk at Firefinger at any given time, but the king also knows we're coming, contacting him about Cube. So it feels like an ambush.
Could be.
Is there
Undoubtedly.
anything? No, go ahead. Sorry.
Also, if Majonari is an accomplished spellcaster, it might suck, the concept of her coming with us, but it's also something I don't think we can avoid.
Yeah.
Most likely
that
not.
is fair.
And
Yeah.
also, we only saw her fighting capabilities when she was with the Grung for like
Mhm.
however long. She hadn't slept in a week.
Yes, that is true. Having her might be helpful if she decides to come, which she might not. But we don't know until we tell her.
We'll see. But, I mean, a
Also,
pit fight isn't a open battlefield, which is what this may be turned into. But it's not important. I
So-
think we need to broach the topic with her.
We could do one more thing and scry on her and see what she sees.
Well,
we'll have to tell Push Call that to get access to the thing, right? So
Yeah.
so
ask her.
that could also help us out once we speak with her and give us some sense of what the situation is actually like. I think it's our only option with I mean, I'm assuming that Firefinger doesn't speak or have some sort of magical gibberish put on it.
Don't know.
Those voices can only presumably be one thing, because, I mean, it's not exactly like well-to-do adventurers stop off at Firefinger. Jolly conversation, terrifying.
Well, who's telling her? My offer to be the one to talk to her still stands, but
I mean, we can all go and you can take lead, or perhaps in the war game portion of the night, just float it as an option
eh,
in a way.
if we, I
Let's
don't. Telling her while she's in the middle of a game doesn't seem like
no.
an opportune moment.
I mean, more floating the notion of how we would go about fighting 100 Terrafolk at Firefinger, whether she already
Oh,
knows or
yes.
not. We are already going to have everyone in the room running those types of exercises.
Like,
We
before then?
advantageous for us to tell her in advance. Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, then we all go. I take lead.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's go find Kushko. Mishwanari. You're muted.
Finding missionary is easy enough. The hum of activity is following the princess around as she seems to be greeting as many Arakakra as she can. Food is being passed out, meats on sticks and other things. She's changed her outfit. Her hair is wet, having been washed, and she's back in her golden dress again. This time wearing more jade pieces around her belt and on her ears and in her hair. And she's holding Mo Junari in her arms as she's making the rounds. Alba appears to be trailing behind her, and the two of them are in an in depth conversation that you're all able to get bits and pieces of. They seem to be arguing over the nature of Upteo and what the nine gods mean to him, what the relationship of Mistra really is. They're getting into some like existential crap about the formation of Chult, what it means to be Chult, and like they're getting in it.
Soul sees this. It's like, oh gosh, this is better than I even imagined. They love each other. Uh, anyways, uh, Soul will approach, and say, "Are you two having fun?"
No,
That's
I
fair.
will give a sort of so gesture.
uh, do you mind, Alba, Iplam, if I borrow Majinari for a few minutes?
I will gesture, no, by all means. And Mercenary will look at Soul and go, and what if I mind?
It a extremely important thing.
She'll look at Divanith.
Juvanith will just say, "You won't mind."
Okay. She'll switch Motionari in her hands and gesture at them to lead.
Back to the house. Privacy.
Back to the house.
Back to the house.
You all gather back into the house, and as you enter, Missionary sets Mo down and starts closing the windows. She locks the door.
Soul will wait until she's done
If you all have something to tell me, I think I want to hear it from Kawashak.
Your mother's alive at Firefinger.
Just fucking
She'll
rip
kind of-
that band-aid.
She'll lean back on her heels, then lean forward. Okay, I figured as much.
And not we, Jet has sent her ascending.
Okay.
She's somewhere with hundreds of voices that put her in and pull her out. And apparently she's surrounded by spells. Or there are spells.
She'll look at Solidago.
We had seen it in the jug, but we weren't sure if it was a memory or not. We
Okay.
were able to confirm that wasn't. You didn't want to get your hopes up if it was nothing.
Okay. Well, by tradition, nobody is considered dead until you've recovered their body.
Right. What would
But
you like
by
to do?
tradition, she's been held by nothing. My mother's dead. To me. Not only has she been held by terrorfolk for months, she's also a bad person. It's about my mother, then it's settled.
It's not only about your mother.
That's what I was waiting on.
It's also about the fact that they have one of the cubes and your mother's message of 100 voices. Give us some pause with recovering this item that we need to hopefully the death curse. Without it, there's we need it to be able to end the curse
5.
alive.
Okay? Where do I factor in this?
Well, we didn't know if there was any amount of help you could provide, or if this is going to have to be something we do on a clandestine or more clandestine we were hoping future.
Do you want my help?
Duvanith will shrug and say, if there's truly 100 Terrafolk, we need all the help.
She'll look over at the others.
Kind of nods. Yeah.
Jet?
If there are 100, can't do it, just the 4 of us.
So, do you want my help?
Yeah.
Okay. There are 30 Aarakocra who can fight. She'll think, and then she'll start pacing. I can muster up 30 Aarakocra. Those are 30 Aarakocra that I know for sure can fight and will go out to fight with us. I will lead them. Artis may be able to help, but I'm wary of risking the Ring of Winter. Yoka will help for sure. I'm positive of that. But I'm not sure if he'd be good in an open fight against Terrafolk. They shred through people. You've seen them fight. Is there anybody that you've met that you could contact that could help?
People in Port Nyanzaru? Well, some giants.
What happened to the other mouthy redhead that used to be a part of your group?
Alita, she was grievously injured by a incubus.
Alita?
Yes. Do you know her?
She's with the Company of the Yellow. Yeah, we met
When?
a month or so ago.
Who passed through here?
She was with the Company of the Yellow Banner.
Heading which direction?
To Amu.
They don't have the cubes.
Dubaneth will nod, and then we'll also say, we'll also like do a little brain math and be like, they're going to be way too far away to get back here in time.
What about those giants?
I mean, if Artis stays here, we could see if our Cyclops friend from the other night, though he's all the way on the other side of the continent, I don't think he'll fit through the teleporters.
There's the people at Mesro.
The people at Mesro would not help us.
No, and some of them
No.
are looking for the cubes themselves.
Yeah,
The
I'm just
people
listing
of
off people that make
Mesro?
up shop. Yes, there's the Yatepka's Fist, some Thayans, and some Cult of a Crocodile people.
Dubaneth will sort of think for a moment and say, well, Shaga was pretty popular with the Yatepka's Fist. They might be inclined to help due to the Razan situation.
Like me much.
Well, if they're part of the Tepka Society, I think it's worth trying.
I mean, Alba is part of the Yatepka Society. I mean, if they're
Part of the Tepka Society, and I'm the sovereign monarch of Chult. Listen to somebody.
I mean, if they're the closest people to us, it's kind of our option.
A shot.
Yes.
I mean, send a call.
You should. Is there anybody you can ask for help?
I can ask Isyom, Namira. There's the 3 or 4 that are in Port Nyanzaru, but I don't know if they'd be able to make it here. And I don't think I could ask Rasnasi for help. I don't think he's willing to leave Omu now. He'd probably just send someone or someone's over.
Okay. Rossi would be a great help here.
a fast way to get to him.
Are you all prepared for this? For War?
Been through it before.
No.
The
But
only
I
difference is that I'll be in the center of it.
don't have a choice.
We either get these cubes or we die.
Or we die before we get the cubes. Either way.
This is grim. I don't know if it helps. But I've sent several dozen adventurers to Omu, and none of them have come out.
To Omu?
Yes,
Mhm.
to Omu.
Well, they also didn't have cubes, so that checks out.
It's. I.
Either way, Princess, we're reaching a grim end. At least with these cubes, we can see if there is a way we can change fate.
Okay. War. War. We're going to war. War.
That's war.
Mm-hmm.
It's the solstice.
It's the solstice.
That's solstice, baby.
If you've been preparing your whole life for something, I always knew at some point that it would lead to this. I mean, the Terrafolk claimed Firefinger. It's mine by right, but it's still war, huh?
I'm sorry.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Doesn't mean I'm not sorry about it. Never a good thing.
Okay.
So
There's breastplates and helmets you've recovered.
Mm-hmm.
What do you plan on doing with them?
Selling
selling
them, right?
Mhm. Yes, that was the plan. But of the cut that is mine, I'm willing to donate them to you.
I have a bunch of helmets, so
Duvaneth will just put her hands up. As long as I don't have to wear them.
I have like 3 helmets and 1 breastplate. I don't need this shit. I can't even wear it.
If you let some of my people who can at least feel comfortable wearing them, I'll spit on them or something, and you can sell them at a higher price for that.
Get your autograph on
Don't-
them.
That sounds like some
Worn by
ego.
the last princess of Amu.
That sounds like some ego shit back in Neverwinter. So that's really weird.
Yes, the
The
I'm trying to
bathwater.
think of something. No, I'm trying to think of
Only
something like
stands.
magic that starts with E. Oh
Only
yes, elf girls.
Oh, sorry,
But
Duvaneth.
it's armor, so it's only cans.
Oh my god.
Fuck
Only
you.
cans.
We're adults here. We're talking about going to war. This is.
You always gotta have the
Alright.
comic relief in
Okay,
times of
did you-
grim.
Did you message her back after that?
No, because everybody disappeared. And I have to use a spell slot to understand what she's saying because I don't know the language.
Well, you have the ability to look in on her, right, Jet?
I
Yes.
do if there's a focus worth 1,000 gold that I could borrow.
there's the scrying pool, right? Could you use that?
Yeah, he can use that. Do you want a portrait of my mom? She had one commissioned at one point to give to suitors if it ever came to that point.
The more things I can connect with her, the better. It would be. Do you possibly have? As weird as this sounds, is there a comb of hers that has like a hair on it?
No, we burn our hair, and most other Moon women are supposed to keep their hair short. She'll gesture at Duvaneth, which my mother did. We were steadfast about it.
Do you have any clothing of hers?
Yeah, I've got her whole bedroom. I didn't throw out her clothes, thankfully.
That might help connect to her better. Just something
Okay.
simple that she wore, just a garment.
Alright.
I guess we should just go up to the pool then and try.
Well, I can
Agreed.
have the bassinet brought down here.
Oh, okay. That works too. I forgot.
I can send a copper messenger to some of the people, see if they can send anything. I'm not sure if Shago's going to help. We've been in contact, but he's not been that forthcoming.
I think he's a bit busy in the port.
Yeah.
Um,
Shall we?
yeah.
Suppose.
Well, we have to wait for the thing to come down, so.
True.
If only we were closer to
Uh,
Neverwinter, I knew someone that could come help.
They could
Yes, I'm
teleport here.
very sorry we don't live closer to Neverwinter, Jet.
Yeah, but he's really strong.
big buff brother.
Mm-hmm.
I am strong.
Um. Well, I guess according to
Strong.
this.
You didn't.
Hmm. I guess, well, according to my story of my brothers, have you ever killed a dragon in less than 12 seconds?
No. Why would I
Okay.
need to strangle a dragon in 12 seconds to what? Why would I want to kill such a majestic creature just because I have a complex?
I have no idea. You should ask him when you see him.
Not gonna do that for obvious reasons.
Of course. I think it would be hilarious to watch you two argue.
She'd win at that.
Mm. He's not that the brightest bulb, so I feel like she'd be talking to a wall.
I'm used to it. You've given me a lot of experience with that.
Ooh. I'm at least a lot more intelligent than him, trust me.
And banter. I'll go and bring the thing down. Did she sound okay?
The first message she sounded really frantic. That's the one I couldn't understand the language. But the second one, she sounded more controlled. Like she was like doing her normal duties and talking properly.
Okay. Divanis, would you walk with me to grab the bassinet? You don't have to.
Tibanov will nod and stand up and join her for retrieval of said bassinet.
She'll walk to the door and hold it open. And she'll kind of pause the door and look over the three of them. don't have anything to say. She'll pat the door and leave. The walk to grab to the bassinet is quiet. Missionary seems to have invited you just to have somebody along with her as she navigates through the tunnels and halls and walkways of Kirsabal. The scrying pool is a sort of bird bath made out of marble and other things, and it'll take her a second, but Missionary can hoist it and bring it back. And the walk back to the Kirsabal house is quiet again. She'll set the scrying pool down, and you can begin the spell.
You're muted, Mark.
There we go. Did she bring the garment down for him?
She did. She pulls out. Well, she holds up the dress and gestures at it
Okay.
that she's wearing.
Hopefully this goes through. I'll try to say out loud everything I see, so that way you all can help. And Jet will start focusing on the pool and start casting.
Okay. So, what's your saving throw? DC?
Where do I find it? Oh, 16.
Okay. I hate doing math.
I forget so they have to roll. If they succeed the target, we can't see it. But if they fail, we can see them. Okay.
Like, if they succeed, they know they were scryed upon.
And we can't see them.
Yeah, if they fail, we know what happened. We can see them, and they don't know.
Let's see what she does.
Kosha, when you have a moment, I'd like to talk with you. Not this very moment.
Oh, certainly, yes. Everybody wants to talk to me recently. I'm not sure how I'm going to cope with it.
You're wise.
As Jet is casting the spell, Duvanis, Missionary is going to stand next to you, close enough that your shoulders are bumping.
Ooh.
And Jet, the spell begins to take hold. The images begin to swirl and take shape, and you can feel the spell sort of begin to swirl. You feel Dawn push against it, but something in her gives away, and the images appear, much like the water forming on the memory jug. You see the top of Firefinger. You see the familiar, sort of half blown out building. You see the tiered monument that the cube is held on. You see the Piles body, and you see Razan. The hair has been brushed out of her face, and you can see that her eyes have been hollowed out. Her jaw is twisted, and there's yellow bruises decorating her neck down and disappearing under her shirt. She's wearing the faded, torn garments that you had seen her in the memory with Missionari before when she was held captive by the Terra folk. She's breathing, but it's shallow, and she's tapping her fingers together in a distinct rhythm.
Jet's gonna see that and start focusing on it. Is there a pattern that he notices that starts to repeat?
Yes.
Is it distinct enough where Jet starts like? Is it almost like Morse code where it's like long and slow?
Yes.
Okay. Jet, inside of it will say out loud, it's a code. Someone write this. Someone help. And when he starts seeing the pattern start over, he'll start calling it out in dots and dashes.
Can we see the scry?
It's really vague on that, but I've already established before that you can see the scry.
Yeah.
Also, Kojak
Yeah.
is going to be the one taking down the Morse code.
Okay.
Yeah. So we.
Do you mind if I just send it to you? And I
Yeah,
don't
go
have
ahead.
to say. Okay.
No, I want to hear Fish say dot and dash a bunch of times.
Wasn't this the same?
Okay.
Wasn't this the same
Maybe-
person that learned Morse code of "suck my dick" at first Sea of Thieves?
This is
Oh
true.
God! Don't remind me of that game. That sucked.
That game's awesome.
Dash. Dot. Dot. Space. Dot. Space. Dot. Dash. Space. Dash. Space. Dot. 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 Dash. 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 Space. Dot. Dot. I'm
It was a bit, Fish. It was a bit.
I wrote it down. Fucking A.
Yeah, here I am
Oh,
writing it down.
Same.
It better not be a bit. taking it
I'll send it
seriously.
in campaign stuff. As
Please.
the scrying is going on and the hum of the crowd is going on, Duvanith, you feel Missionari's fingers against your wrist.
Duvanith will just stay still. You don't want to scare them if you move too much.
Her fingers will slide down and she will try to hold your hand.
Duvanith will hold her hand. Cupped, not laced.
Gotta keep that distance.
Imaginary.
Her hands are muscled.
Imaginario
She has
player.
calluses and fine scars all throughout, and she has very soft, warm hands besides that. She's looking straight forward and not at you.
As
but
one does.
Oh, I forgot to hit. The Morse code is in campaign stuff.
Anyone speak Morse code?
More.
I mean, Solza.
Probably.
But
Ivanov probably knows it.
Thieves can't.
Yeah, would it be part of Thieves' Cant?
I'm going to say no, because Thieves' Cant is about clever wordplay and not another language.
Oh, shit. Wow. I just went to translator, but Jet don't know what it means. That's some
Oh,
dark ass
gosh.
I mean,
shit.
it's Morse code. It's not hard for me to believe that some of you have had training in it before,
Yeah.
or that it's in
Soul
like
would
a
know it.
convenient
Yeah, I think
notebook.
Soul would, out of all
Yeah.
people, would know it.
Yeah, so let me quick get into Morse code translator.
I can tell you what it is.
No, I got it. I want to
No,
do the thing.
no. The shock of the output is it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh shit. Soul. Ooh.
It's fucking rough.
That's dark. So Soul's like reading over Koashok's shoulder, and like his hackles just rise as he sees it. The death of my people are here. Or wait, yeah, the death of my people. Fuck!
To be fair, that's probably what would
Death
actually
of my
happen if you were
people
trying to
is here.
translate
Death
it.
of my people is here. Death of my people is here. Just over and
Death of
over
my
and over.
people
Death
is
of my people is
beer?
here.
No.
Jet,
Oh boy.
you see like Jet just deflate when he hears that out loud as he's like trying to give details of things, but when he hears that, like the details start getting a lot more dark, like his mood just changes completely.
Mhm. We can see it, Jet.
Well, I'm trying to be helpful the best I can.
She doesn't think very highly of the situation.
Neither would I if I was being held hostage, but you know.
Fuck.
So
Doesn't change anything, does it?
no, not really.
Still need that cube.
If anything, it feels a tad melodramatic.
Ghost
Well,
Call did say she did not remember him.
Yeah. My
Mother had a flair for the
mother's-
dramatic.
Yes. Yes. When she was awake, it was her favorite. I'm sure she's just being dramatic.
Is
You
there
know
a
people
way?
like that.
Is there a way Jet could insight her like through this scry when she hears Manjanari says that she's just being a drama queen essentially?
Sure. So you're trying to insight if there's something dramatic or cunning or
Like if
what, like
she's
facetious.
like she's bolstering it up knowing that someone could be watching.
Okay.
Given I do see her condition.
Yeah, go for it.
This is what Jet does. Oh my god.
Given her condition, given the way she is, there's nothing boisterous about the way that she's delivering the message. It seems very real to her.
She doesn't she believes what she's saying. It's not a ploy or putting on a show.
Hundreds of voices. Fuck. I just realized what it is.
Did Sam or did Soul?
I Soul doesn't have enough to work off of, does he? No,
think-
he does. Wait. Can I quick message you to double check because I don't want to like.
Yeah, go for it. I know what you're thinking of, though. Quick, hit me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Fuck. Okay. I'm just going to say it out because I'm pretty positive. Speak with dead. Look, when we spoke with the dead, there was a lot of voices, and then there was one. They keep pulling him in and out. She's dying. She's seen the Soulmonger. I don't know if that's right. I really hope that
You
is,
can
'cause
say that
that was
out
very
loud. That's based entirely. I used very specific wording when I talked about
Yeah.
to speak with the dead.
Okay. So hold it. It has to be better than I was. Fuck. She's seen the Soulmonger. She's dying.
So
What-
what does that
what do you mean?
When Jet tried to speak with the lady, the murder victim in Mesro, it was a lot of voices, and then the one that cut him off. We know that the dead go somewhere, and she's teetering on the edge of it. The dead are going into the Soulmonger, and whatever there is really bad.
Well, that's lovely.
That somehow makes both more and less sense than the Terrafolk army theory.
I don't know. It. We need these cubes. We need to solve this faster, I think. I think something's happening.
I'm inclined to agree.
If I can get one more night's sleep, I can have all my spells and we can just rush there. But if we go now, I have almost nothing.
Then
We have to rest, and we should see if we can get artists to bring us if we're not going to go with a entire regiment of people.
Yeah.
Worth
how fast can you organize your Aarakocra?
How fast?
Yes.
I can get them ready in the morning.
She's
There's
still
only
holding
30 of
Giovanna's
them.
hand.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She's trying to hide it behind the folds of her dress, but like,
She's very clearly holding
Like,
Devon's hands.
Devon's hand is like, over there. We could we could try to lure some of them out. Get
But
the Aarakocra, get
My
them to a
my concern is they'll take the cube with them if we try to say send some of them to Dungrung or
yeah,
something.
if we give them any notice that it's more than just 4, they could just get away with it before we can get to them.
and I don't. They wouldn't send their whole battalion. It's obviously a trap, but they might still send some. Keeping the cube at the Firefinger is still the most advantageous option. It'd be very risky to send the cube out with a war party that might die.
I mean, unless they're actually invested in it off to us, and then we've just shot ourselves in the foot.
He's been lying the rest. Wait, we don't have to send an army. The hundreds of voices. It's
Yes.
the Soulmonger.
I mean, if that's the truth, then it should be fairly easy. Azek says there's only 10 to 13 Terrafolk at Firefinger at a time. I feel
We just
reasonably confident we can handle that. Done it before.
Then we just have to keep the war bands from coming in to give them help.
Essentially.
So that's all we need. All we need is some people to protect our backs as we go in.
as we deal with the king and the elders, and then hopefully those that have some form of loyalty or no loyalty at all would rout and just mop up
Mhm.
what's left.
Yep. We can make this work. This got a lot easier and a lot harder.
Worst case, I could use one of my gifts to make flying creatures, and one of them can go get the cube at the top while we distract.
Well, the Terrafolk can fly. I mean,
But if we're distracting all 10 or 13 in a conversation, the animal can do it on its own without us being there.
I imagine that regardless of what happens when this discussion happens, either the king himself or the prince are going to be on the top of the structure with the cube. They're not going to bring it down to us. We're going to have to
find your way up.
incentivize them to do it, because it just doesn't make tactical sense to bring it down to the ground when they have the advantage of flight. Don't.
True.
Yes.
Have we... Firefinger's fragile, and I know what the base is made out of. It's rooted deep in the ground, but
Do we have anything that
we
could
can...
break it?
Yes. Someone intimately familiar with the structure and materials used to make Firefinger, who can manipulate Earth.
You, I'm guessing. Or I'm comfortable. If you want to, if you think it's the best option, I trust you.
If you're taking Aarakocra, I'm still going no matter what. I refuse to have the Aarakocra war and do killing if I'm not there with them.
You're a good leader.
So is it settled for now?
Sounds like it.
Think so. Go to Firefinger in the morning.
Can you go over it one more time for me?
Which part?
So all of
Duvanov
it?
will adjust and like take like the
Oh, God, this again.
saucers from the morning and sort of flip them over.
No,
And,
not that one.
oh yeah, and put the points side to side.
Jet's gonna
Just
like lean
I don't
back.
know. I thought it was about to be hilarious, personally.
Jet's gonna sit down and lean back and just literally tune this whole thing out.
This
He's dissociating.
this cup and saucer is Firefinger, and then she'll sort of take some like like beans or whatever else was on the plate and sort of scatter them near the Firefinger, and she'll say this is Firefinger, and we'll have a forward element here, and she'll sort of motion. This forward element will be our negotiating element with Firefinger. Now, if we're to believe that this is an attack, the Aarakocra should probably be about 200, 300 foot back as a support element.
Can I go, like, shower?
Who will look for ambushing ambushing Terrafolk units as the negotiation happens. The negotiation will eventually come to blows, after which that falls apart. There'll be combat in two areas, these two different sections, the one near Firefinger and the support element who stops an ambush on the forward element near Firefinger.
Well, let me make Firefinger
Bujinari has stars in her eyes.
What about the bands coming in?
What do you mean the band's coming in?
Their
That's
fire
what
fingers
the
back up.
Aarakocra are.
Yes,
The
Okay, yes.
Aarakocra
the
are there
second
in
element
place.
will be
Oh, okay, I see.
in
They're over
response
here,
to
yeah.
that. Yes.
Okay. And then we have Kirsabel over here. We have the cube. We have Firefinger's a little bit taller than that. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck! You get the
Beans! I
point.
beansed it!
I
Okay.
beansed it!
Well, if we. I'm trying to think about who I can keep here at Kirstabal to protect it. 30 is a large number, but it's not the number I would want to take out. But I want to keep at least 10 Aarakocra here. Yoka can stay here. Going to need Azek and Nephir, though.
Do we want Azek out there? I don't want him to accidentally get caught in the crossfire.
They must know him by now. Paint him?
Oh, that's a good point. It's still the heat of battle, and I don't think that the Aarakocra here trust him enough to die with him.
Mm.
Okay, so if we leave Azek here to keep watch, I'll give him full trust over Kirsabal's protection. And
If he's in charge of studying the guards. What if the guards come with him? Stay here, protect Kirstabal.
I think the warriors are just general purpose. They're both the guards and the warriors.
Oh, okay.
we've
Getting up
never
more dice.
needed a guard rotation until now.
So Kirstabal. This boy's
I
let
can
me find
bring 20 Aarakocra. I'll see in the morning, but
Keep in mind, we also are going to have artists with us if he's willing to come as because
I
he's
don't know if
otherwise it's
bringing.
going to
Yeah, we didn't
otherwise it's
know if
going
we
to
want to
take
bring him.
otherwise
Oh.
that was when we were talking about maybe summoning the giants or whatever, but it will otherwise take us 3 days to get there.
He doesn't have to come in, he just has to drop us off.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I'm having fun with this now.
She'll nod. Okay, that sounds like a good idea. So, where do you want me in this plan?
With us? On the ground, taking out the... I don't know, do we want to give ourselves a timer to get to the top? I mean, it won't be hard to get to the top if we have artists, we just have to take it down.
I don't think bringing artists near the Terra folk is a good idea. But
We just need him to
if
drop
he
us
agrees
off.
to it.
So, what if... I'm actually setting this up now. So, D20.
And am I
Tiny
with you guys, or am I with the Aarakocra?
Well,
The
you can't fly, and the notion of
Well, I
having
can turn into a bird.
I can't even do that yet. Rude.
well, with that being said, where would you want to be? What would make more sense for you? Would being a bird and traveling with the Aarakocra make more sense, or would being on foot but close in with us make more sense?
If you were with artists.
You could stay near Artis if
Protect him.
we're worried about him getting ambushed.
Artist will be fine. I don't know. I've never been in a large scale engagement like this. I wouldn't know where I would best be.
Then, well, because we can assume that let's assume that 3 war parties are going to attack. One of them is going to try to take advantage of there being less people at Kirsabal, so they'll probably go there, we assume. There's the 2 that will head off with the other 2 battalions of Aarakocra. There's us, and then there's Artis. So, if you want to, I think you will be best suited with us because you've been to Firefinger before. Do you know your way around it at all?
I memorized it like the back of my hand.
Perfect. We have a guide.
Okay.
So Artis,
Sounds
Artis drops us off. We start climbing the tower. Artis heads back to Kirsabal to help out if he needs to, and he's away from Firefinger. And then we head up, and worst comes to worst, we head back down and we destroy it. And pick our way through the rubble until we can find what we need.
Are we trying to draw when we arrive at Firefinger? Are we trying to draw the Terrafolk out, or are we just going to start climbing it?
I say they're going to figure it out anyways.
So you think we're going to end up getting attacked on our approach?
They probably have the place watched, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if they know that we're mad. So, we'll probably be attacked on the way there. I'm assuming. Or if we aren't, then we're going to be attacked when we're inside. The issue is, I don't think we should give them a fair warning. We should ambush this. That's what you're best at, Duvanith.
True.
You can, hell, if we get close enough to the top and they're there, you can take them out from 600 feet away.
As long as I have good line of sight and uninterrupted shot and et cetera, et cetera.
In the middle of the year, there's not a lot in the way.
It's true. It also goes true if they try to run.
Mm-hmm. So, this is actually really helpful, the official aid. But I think that's our best option, is not letting them know we're coming and let them figure it out and scramble.
Just showing up dirty.
Well, they've been dirty to us.
Yeah, that's true. It's high time we repaid the favor.
It's right there.
All right, it's settled.
let's
Go
you
ahead.
go first.
Oh, it was just Devon going to say, let's see if we can get Artis on board, and I think that's the last person we need to cover.
Yep. Just need his permission, or to borrow his birds. We'll also have to pack light. We want to get there as fast as possible.
True.
So, we need to leave the backpacks.
It should be a fairly quick in and out, and if worse comes to worse, Jet can always create for water.
Mm-hmm. Just take the jug,
Mm-hmm.
some rations, pack light. Don't need.
Should we take the jug?
It's water.
It's
Just in case.
It's free water, and if we
My
keep
family's ancestral artifact that could
And
fall into the hands of
also-
the Terrafolk.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Something that could fall into the hands of the Terrafolk. It's not something that I think we should take with us.
the cubes could fall into the hands of the Terrafolk too.
The cubes are
That's
already
actually
in the
good.
hands of the
You wanna
Terrafolk. Well, good for you. I'm leaving the jug here because I'm still the one that has it.
No, you're good. That's a fair point, Koashok. we probably should leave the jug here. We can pack water like we used to.
I still can create food and water, so we'll have plenty.
You should save your spell slots though. You'll need them.
Well, I'm saying if we run out, we'll have plenty.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. So leave the jug here, leave the cubes here.
I
That
think so.
way, if something happens to us, we can at least pass them on to the next adventurer.
Agreed. The next adventure is seeing a jug. Oh, this is really cool. When they see something traumatic through it. Oh, uncool.
Oh, that's what happened to the last guy. They still only
they see
like,
us in the history.
They still roll a 4 and they still only us. It's not them.
It's like, who are these losers?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But
finding art.
I was going to say
Finding
we
artists
could.
is easy.
Sorry, you go.
Finding artists is easy enough. He appears to have been getting into the party section of the day, and by party, he's getting into a very quiet, hushed argument with Eku. And as the group is entering, she'll break from Art, leaving the room and throwing the scowl over her look as she leaves. And Artis will turn his full attention to all of you. So, did you tell Majanari?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry about your exile.
No. She
No.
didn't take it bad.
We
True.
were
We're
looking
going
at
to
it
war with the
of people who at
with the
least
Terra folk.
respect our
Oh my
parents
God.
a little bit. So
It was really more
Kojak?
about the recovery.
Kojak?
oh, I was saying we were looking at it from a perspective of people who at least respect their parents a little bit.
Oh. Okay. So what's up?
We're
We need
going
a
to war with
ride.
the Terra. Yeah. We're going to Firefinger. And come straight back to Kirsabal. We think that's actually the best option.
So you want to ride?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Jinx.
He looks exhausted.
He ages in like 5 seconds.
Takes the ring off just long enough to turn slightly into dust and then puts it back on. Just so we can see the gray hair form.
Yeah, I continue to Firefinger.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So how are you?
It's been good. Great summer solstice. And that is where today's session will end.
But
I'd like to have a conversation with Cole real fast.
we can have it via text. I gotta go shower and then.
All right.
If we want to figure out what happens with that, join the Discord channel.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, thank you guys for this extra long session to compensate for the other one.
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually hit a milestone. We had over 1,500 unique views tonight. We're at 1,503.
Oh, worm?
Wait, what? Wait, like all in one video or?
No. Since we started streaming, we've had 15.
Okay, thank
Altogether,
God.
we've had over 1,000 people watch our stream.
1,500 check out our stream. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out the Discord.
Yeah, check out our Discord.
Plug our
We
Discord.
are officially cool. We've had 1,000 people look at us and be like,
Hey, yeah. We've had 1,000
Thank you,
people.
Miss Keisha.
Thank you, Miss
All
Keisha.
right.
Aww.
There's some
But yes,
cuteness
Miss
for
Keisha.
You guys are still
Miss
on
Keisha, if you're
stream.
out there, we love you.
Hi. Hi, we love you.
All right.
Oh, so cute.
Have a good night.
Aww.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.